Hi, I'm Pete, and this is a tutorial on the Void Tuttminx from VeryPuzzle. Now, I'm going to tell you a few things before we get started with the tutorial. First, I want to let you know that there are links in the description, so feel free to skip around. You want to skip right to the Scramble or the part 1 of the solve or step 1 of the solve, you can go ahead and do that. But I do want to talk about a couple of important things that you'll need to know to get the most out of this tutorial and to be able to solve your Void Tuttminx. First of all, the solution of the Void Tuttminx that I'm going to show is identical for the most part to the solution that I use for the regular Tuttminx, and I do have a tutorial on the Tuttminx. The differences are that because we don't have centers on the Void Tuttminx, there will be some changes, but we'll do that as we go along. Okay, we're not going to change the whole strategy, we're just going to change some little details of the strategy. Okay, so that was the first important bit of information. The second one is about stickering. Now, I've got the factory sticker set on here. The factory stickers are beautiful, I really like them, but they do have one little kind of a flaw in that there's way too many shades of gray. Way too many shades of gray. And if you try and maybe replace the gray with something else from the factory sticker set, you'll find that you end up with too many shades of blue or whatever. I mean, it's a very difficult thing. There are 32 faces on here, so really you need 32 colors. Now I know Oliver is making stickers for these, and you know, I am going to try a set of Oliver stickers, but I wanted to leave the factory stickers on because there's a peculiar problem that can happen on the Void Tuttminx. It can happen on the regular Tuttminx, but it's more prevalent, it's more likely to happen on the Void Tuttminx because you don't have a center to gauge the colors. And the problem has to do with swapped hexagonal edges. Let me show you. This is the yellow side here. And if you have a hexagon that has two of the same shade on adjacent faces. So here's a baby blue hexagon, and I have a gray hexagon here and a gray hexagon there, which means that this edge is baby blue and gray and that edge is baby blue and gray. Okay, so what can happen, these colors, when you're actually solving the puzzle, look so close, and without a center to be adjacent to the color, it's very easy to get these swapped around. Okay, and when you get those swapped around, you may not notice it until you're doing either the last 6 hexagons, and then you find out you have edges that you can't swap, or when you get to the last pentagon and you actually can't 3-cycle the pentagon edges because basically you have a parity caused by swapped edges. Okay, now this does happen on the regular Tuttminx, but I think it's more likely to happen on this. So the solution really is, if you're designing your sticker scheme, try to avoid having the same shades on either side of a hexagon. I don't know if that's even possible to design a sticker scheme that does that around here. Here's another one here on the other side. Again, there are grays because there's just so many grays. So I have a dark blue here, and I have this gray and this gray. And even though they look different, when you actually are solving the puzzle and everything's all chaotic, it's quite easy to get them swapped. Okay, now a little discussion about color schemes is that there is no standard color scheme for the Void Tuttminx. These come from the factory unstickered, at least up until this video is being made, they do. So that means that your color scheme is almost certainly going to be different from mine, and you know, it's okay, right? The only thing you really need to know about your color scheme is what color you want to start on. And I specifically designed my strategy for the Void Tuttminx to avoid having to learn your color scheme, because you know, some people might enjoy doing it. I'm terrible at memorization, and I just don't want to have pictures of this thing in my notes in order to be able to solve it. I want to be able to just solve it. So My strategy for solving involves knowing that I'm going to start, say, on the white face because it's nice and bright, and that means that I'm going to solve the Tuttminx from the white face, and then I'm going to end up on the other side, which just by some amazing coincidence is the yellow face, the pentagon here. Okay, all you need to know is what color you're going to start with. Now, if you've already scrambled your Tuttminx, that's fine. Just pick some color that you like. You could pick hot pink or white or any color. It doesn't matter. Knowing where your ending pentagon is going to be is not that important. Once you establish the initial pentagon, you'll kind of be building towards it anyway. And eventually it'll become clear what that final pentagon is going to be. Okay, let me talk about this spiffy turning tool here. The turning tool, of course, has two ends on it, and it's used to turn the faces on this marvelous puzzle. Some people have asked me if it is possible to turn the faces without the tool. It is, but there's not a lot to grip. And once the puzzle starts getting used and the faces aren't perfectly aligned, it really takes a lot of force with your fingers to turn these. So, you know, it becomes second nature, and I think it's just worth it to learn to use the tool. And definitely don't want to stick your fingers in a hole, because there are some edges and there's a mechanism in there. Definitely not something to do. Now, as far as why I have red duct tape on my turning tool, well, it's because I'm hardcore. You know, I'm a hardcore puzzle solver, man. That's all us hardcore solvers. Duct tape are turning tools, right? That plus the fact that the sharp edges on the turning tool are abrading my delicate hands. So that's those are the two reasons why I have duct tape. But mostly it's because I'm hardcore. So that's what the turning tool is all about there. The next little thing I'll talk about, and then we'll get in with the scramble, is what you need to know. Really, what would help you to be able to solve is obviously having solved the Tuttminx before would be helpful, but you know, I'm gonna do every step of this solve, so if you haven't solved the Tuttminx, it's fine. But if you want to go watch my Tuttminx video, you can do that. I'm gonna do all the same steps, just gonna change them just a little bit because we're doing the void Tuttminx. Solving a Megaminx would certainly have give you a little bit of insight as to how we're gonna do it. And solving a 3x3 cube where you are block building and you're assembling pieces using some sort of F2L or Friedrich method or any other block building method, that would also kind of give you the idea of what we're going to be doing here. But you know, if you've never solved a Tuttminx before and this is your first big puzzle, hey, you know what? I would encourage you to scramble it up, get your turning tool, and start watching the video. Now, you know, I take my time in my videos. I'm going to show every step of the scramble and solve. And for some people, that's too much information. And so there are links in the description, and you can skip around. Once you've got it, just skip to the next section. You won't miss anything. For a lot of people, though, they need to watch the whole thing. They maybe need to watch it twice, and that's perfectly fine. And that's why I make these videos. Okay, so keep that in mind. I don't want to bore anybody, so skip ahead when you're ready, and watch it twice if you need to. Okay, let's scramble up the void Tuttminx. Now, remember, you need to identify what color you're going to start on, and if your Tuttminx isn't scrambled, then you take a peek on the opposite pentagon, and you'll know what your ending color is going to be. So in my case, I'm going to pick white as the starting color and yellow as the ending color, but it could be any color. I pick white because it's nice and bright. It's the same reason why a lot of people start with white on their 3x3 cubes or other cubic puzzles. Now, as I'm doing the first turns of the scramble, I'll remind you of the rules of the Tuttminx. The hexagons, the six-sided figures, shapes, have to be turned 2 steps, and the pentagons can be turned 1 step. Okay, and that produces some interesting restrictions on where certain pieces can go, and actually we're going to take advantage of that to help us with the void aspect of solving the Tuttminx. There we go. All right, and yeah, let me just get off to the races here. I don't know how much turning is really necessary to get a Tuttminx scrambled. I just like to get everything broken up, all the corners and edges as much as possible. You know, you're probably not going to be able to get everything done broken up, because some of them will just merge together anyway. Now, if you notice that every once in a while there's a little catch, and that's just because I haven't quite aligned everything properly, and that's kind of a consequence of such a big puzzle and a big mechanism. And I think that's really why the turning tool exists, because if it was possible to align everything perfectly every time, we probably wouldn't need to use this turning tool. There's one other kind of interesting phenomenon that happens on the void Tuttminx, way more than it happens on the regular Tuttminx, and it has to do with these hexagonal centers, edges being flipped over as we're doing the solve, and it's kind of cool because it adds a bit of a challenge to it. When we scramble the regular Tuttminx, the center, the starting hexagon, we know where it is. Oops, I didn't turn that enough. We know where it is because the center's still there. So when we start solving a regular Tuttminx, the position, the pieces, we're just basically gathering them back to where they started. And so it's not very common to have to flip an edge, because the edges don't tend to get flipped very much in the solve. Sorry, in the scramble. Well, on the void Tuttminx, we don't know where that starting hexagon, that starting pentagon was. We just pick one randomly, and very often that may be on the other side of the puzzle from where we started, which means that almost every hexagon edge that we bring down is going to be upside down. We have to flip it over, which is kind of cool. It just adds a bit of a challenge, and it's not hard to do, but it just adds some interest as we're going along, and it's just something we have to be careful about as we're going on, because flipping those over does come at a cost. We have to make sure that we don't scramble work that we've already done while we're doing that. Now, you will see me adjusting the faces, especially the pentagons, with my hands. So I do use a combination of the turning tool and my fingers, just to kind of get that fine. And all I'm really doing is just squeezing the two slices together to square up the hexagon, the pentagon. Wow, don't say hexagon. I do that. I don't know. It's a type of it's a verbal tick. So there we are. I don't know if I've got this scrambled well yet or not. Now here's one where see the pentagon was just off just enough that just couldn't quite get it going with the tool. I don't want to push really hard on this. You know, I'd rather take an extra moment and be gentle with the puzzle, and not force things here. Well, that's looking pretty good. I'll break those ones up. It's you know, I don't want to be obsessive about it, trying to get it, everything all split up and perfectly scrambled, because the act of starting to solve the puzzle will continue the scramble a little bit for the first few layers anyway. So we don't have to worry too much about it, really, as long as those initial pieces are split up. So, for example, I have two white ones there. I don't know that it really matters, but just to make absolutely sure, let me just split these up. Is probably as likely that I'll end up putting those on the same. Yeah, there's one with two of them on it. So you can't tell me that I wasn't scrambling well, because that had two and that had two. So, and clearly they didn't all come. I mean, they all came from the same one. So they must have randomly landed on the same face as I'm moving them. Okay, you know, I think if I try and do this, this will take a long time here. If I try to, okay, I think I might have this scrambled here. Yeah, I do. Okay. Well, does that look good? Okay, one more. There we go. Otherwise, this will be just a video about me scrambling stuff. All right, well, enough for the preliminaries. Let's get started with the solve and step one when we come back. Okay, so the void Tuttminx is scrambled, and just before I get starting with the solve here, let's talk about how we're going to approach this. It will be the same as the Tuttminx, but this is a review. So we'll pick a start pentagon, and maybe this will be the one. It doesn't really matter where we start. And we'll solve the edges of that, and then we're going to put in the corners and the edges of the adjacent hexagons here, the six-sided faces, and that's step one. So it's a very short step, but it's important because it establishes the bottom part of the Tuttminx. Then step two involves filling in the middle row of the hexagons and pentagons around the sort of the belt, the equator of the puzzle. And we do that in 2 steps. Now, in my previous videos, I did it in 3 steps. I learned a lot since then, and I think it's just easy to do just 2 steps. So the bottom edges first, and then the top edges. And then the third part of the solve, and this is the first time where we may use an algorithm, the third step is the last 6 hexagons. That's where we're starting to run out of room, and it's very difficult to assemble pieces. We might have to use one algorithm, and I'll show it to you just so you'll have it if you need it. I try to actually solve it without the algorithm, that part of it, just because it's kind of fun. And then finally, step 4 is a very short step where we're going to finish the last pentagon, and that step is actually I'm using adapted Megaminx algorithms. I just sat down one day and worked out how I would move the edges around for the Tuttminx using the Megaminx algorithm. So that's where we use a few algorithms, and of course those will all be in the description. Okay, well, let's get started. Now, we basically have to pick a starting pentagon, and all I want is just one that has a white on it. I don't care which one it is. It could be any one. I'm just going to pick one that has a white on it. So let's pick this purple one right here. So we're going to call this purple, and there's no white in there, but now we know that this is the white pentagon because that's what we're saying it is. And we know that that's going to be the purple hexagon as well. So what we need to do now is figure out what the adjacent edges of this pentagon are. And this is really the first and really the only time we're really going to have to struggle this way to figure this out. Because once we start establishing things, then it'll become quite clear what colors different faces are. So let's take a look here. What I need to do then is I need to find a corner that has white on it and purple. Okay, and if I find a corner that has white and purple, then it'll inform me which colors are on the adjacent faces. So let's take a look. Here's a white one, but it doesn't have purple on it. Ah, there's one that has purple, white and purple, and look at that, it has brown on it. Okay, and so this purple and white are on the it looks like it's on this side, right? So that means that that is a white and brown edge. So there's the white and brown right there. So let's put that in place, and you'll see just how quickly this all goes here. Okay, so there it is right there, and there's my target right there. So this one is it's pretty easy part of the solve because you don't have to worry about mangling work you've already done here. And okay, so there we go, and that corner I wasn't intending to put that corner in just now, but it just came along. It's not the right one anyway. So that was the first one right there, and in fact that corner actually belongs over here, so we don't even have to go very far to find the corner. And we see that it's white and purple, and it has a dark gray on it. So we're looking for white and dark gray. Now I happen to know that there's only one white pentagon on here. We don't have multiple shades of white, so any white and dark gray will be the correct one. We don't have to worry about different shades. So just have to find a white and gray. There it is, a white and gray. So I'm just going to bring this down here. Okay. Now, oops. Now, pentagon edges can only go on pentagons. You can't swap a pentagon and a hexagon edge. So that actually helps us, because if you're trying to put an edge in to a certain spot and it's not going, you can't get it in there, chances are you picked the wrong one. Even if it looks right, it might be from similarly shaded hexagon edge. Well, we know these two, so what I need to find out, I need to find a gray and white or a brown and white corner. Either one will tell us what's left to do here. Alright, so here's a gray and a white corner now. And instead of trying to look back and forth, I'm just going to move the corner a little closer to the piece that we're working on. This is strictly not necessary, but oh, and I just happen to, I don't know, that looks close, but it's not. Anyway, so there's my gray and white, so it goes right there, and that tells me that it's a white and gray edge that goes there, white and gray, because this is what this corner has told us. Alright, the white and gray, and having sorry, what did I say, white and gray? I meant white and blue. Sorry, we need white and blue. This is the gray right here. We already have it. So white and blue. What is it about these this first hexagon I find so difficult to explain? Okay, I got into trouble in my last video that way too. Last Tuttminx tutorial. Okay, so now we're on a pentagon hexagon, and that's okay because I can make that 2 steps, and there we go, we have it right there. Okay, so I have that. Now I could go looking for corners just to make sure, another white corner to see what goes here, but you know what, there's only one left, and this is the only white face in the whole puzzle. So there it is, it's the green and white. If that turns out to not be correct, I'll know soon enough. You know, if you want to double check, it's fine. But that's it. Okay, so that was the first part of step 1. We have the white edges of the bottom pentagon. That's the equivalent of the bottom cross in, say, a Megamix, or of course the bottom cross in a 3x3. So the next step is to put in these corners, and the issue really is that it's easier to assemble an edge and a corner and then put them in as a group, rather than just putting the corners in individually, because you can't actually, unlike say Megamix or a 3x3, you can't put these edges in without taking that corner out on the Tuttminx. So what we have to do is just use our standard Tuttminx techniques to assemble a corner and edge and put it in this slot, whatever slot we're going to do. Okay, so it doesn't matter where we start, really. Here's one right here. This is a corner, an edge. Actually, we would have to take that out. So, you know, let's, instead of taking it out, what we'll do is we'll put the one that belongs there in, and that'll pop that one out. So what we're looking for is a brown and purple corner. So let's go find the brown and purple corner. I see I have one intact already, so that might have been a nice one to start on. So there's the brown and purple corner. Now, what I like to do is I like to work above the working area, just above the working area, and I sort of try and keep myself, you know, a little bit above it. And I'll work on either a hexagon and then use the pentagons to help move pieces into place, but I can also work on a pentagon. Mostly I like to work on hexagons there. So what am I going to need for this face here? This is the question, right? This is the corner that goes there. Okay, and there's the brown right there, and there's the purple right there. So what is this edge going to look like? Well, this part is going to be pointing down, which means the edge we need is brown and purple. Unfortunately, those are unique colors, so I can go and find them. And that's where things on the Void Tuttminx get tricky. If you have like a gray and a blue, there's so many grays and blues on here, it's kind of crazy. think that that is correct. No, it's purple. I need brown and purple. Right? Yes, brown and purple. That's the one. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, so it didn't go very far. So there's where we're working. So I have to get this out without breaking anything, but that's easy enough. So I have to get this out without breaking that edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this piece up just a little bit here. Okay, I moved that out of the way just to save that corner edge. It's already built for us. Kind of nice. So let's work up here. Just I know it's a little off, but just give us a little more room. So now I'm going to move this piece up and out of the way. Okay, so I've hidden the corner off there. And now the edge. So I have to watch out and put that back. So 2 steps. Bring it up. So that's the edge that I'm looking for. And now I'm going to bring this one back down. Sometimes you can just leave it up there, but I just don't want to mess things up. I don't have a lot of the puzzle built right now, and it would be easy to get confused. So here we see that this edge, I have purple on the bottom, brown on top, but the corner, I have purple on top, brown on the bottom, so one of them has to get flipped over. And let's see, how can I do that? Well, there's a couple of ways to do it there. If I flip this over using a pentagon, now I have brown on top, purple on the bottom, so that's correct. Okay. So now all I need to do is put this piece right there, and indeed on a hexagon I can go 2 steps. So if I just hide this out of the way and then move that and then bring it back, then I'll join those 2 pieces. So that's what I'm going to do. I only need to go 1 step on a hexagon. I'll go 2 steps on the, I said hexagon, I meant pentagon. 2 steps on the hexagon, and now I'm going to bring this up. There you go. And it's back. Now remember, we're on the top here, and there's our working area down here. So now it's a matter of getting these 2 pieces in that slot. So you have to, you can sort of visualize it. It gets much easier as you do this. So if you struggle with it at first and you get it wrong a couple times, that's fine, right? It's just a matter of visualizing it. So for example, if this is a slot, so if I turn this hexagon up 2 steps, that's the slot we want to fill. So if I turn this down two steps, it will put that piece in here, but the problem is it'll put it in pointing in the wrong direction. So even though that looked like a good promising way to do it, it's not going to work for us, which means that we have to go up some other way. We have to go up over here so that this is so that this piece is pointing up. Okay, and just from experience, I know that in order to make this work, I'm going to have to put this piece over here. Okay, now you could, the first time you do it, maybe you'll move this piece, and then you'll say, oh, I have to move this piece. You can do it that way as well. Okay, there's a slot that we're trying to fill. We're going to move this over. Okay, and now I'm going to move this part down. 2 steps. 1, 2. We've moved this corner and edge into the slot, and I'm going to move this hexagon back, and you see that we put in that corner and edge. Okay, just like that. Now I noticed earlier that there was an assembled corner and edge, and I don't normally try to preserve them as I'm going along, because it takes more effort to preserve them than it does just to rebuild them on the fly. And I don't know if it even survived that little what I just did. It probably didn't. So it shows you basically how easy it is to mess these up as you're going along. So yeah, if I see pieces that I need later, it's very rare that I'll try and preserve them unless I know right away that I can use them immediately after. Anyway, the next thing is just to go around, and I can do this in any order. I kind of like to go clockwise, I guess. It's just my plotting way of doing things. So here it would be purple. I'm looking for purple, white, and gray. And again, because white is unique, I don't have to worry about what shade of gray it is, as long as they find something with white on it. Oh, there's an assembled. Now it looks assembled, but that's not the right edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that corner up top here. By the way, if you hear airplanes flying overhead, I'm right on a flight path. And those are float planes actually taking off from a nearby lake. So that's what that is. I do have my window closed, but they can be kind of loud because I'm right there. Okay, now I do have to worry about the shade of gray that matches this, but more importantly, the edge that I'm looking for, I guess it's a hexagon edge. So there's the kind of the standard problem you run into with a sticker set. So this edge could certainly go there and it would be wrong. And I can see it. Fortunately, I can see it, but a lot of times it's really hard to tell. So what I'm looking for here then is, oh, why did I look for that one? I think I skipped one. I was looking for purple and gray. Oh well, let's just put in the blue and the gray anyway. So I'm looking for a darker shade of blue, I think. No, it's the same shade of blue. All right, I'm looking for a blue and gray, but it's the other blue and gray. That's all I can say. There's a blue and gray. Hexagon edge. Okay, so there's the edge I need, but it's blue on the bottom, gray on top, and the corner is the opposite. So now if I flip this over, look at that. I've joined those two, and now hopefully you can see that the shade of gray is correct. I hope it's correct anyway. If it's not correct, what happens is that I run into difficulties later on as I'm trying to fill in the top layer, and that's all you can do is just go back to all the ambiguous edges and just flip them around when that happens. Alright, so I want to get this edge and corner right here, and if I turn this up, then that means the white is pointing that way. But if I bring this one down, the white will be pointing that way. So bringing this up is not the right answer this time. So obviously we want to go in this other direction. So I'm just going to put this in place so that it can come down here, which means I have to move this slot over there. And indeed, 2 turns will do it. Notice we're not hurting our edge. It's already in place because it'll be protected. We're turning it down and we're turning it in. Okay, so that looks good right there. Okay. Now, for some reason, I skipped the purple and gray. I think I was over eager to get to that blue and gray. I'm not really sure. Normally, I just go clockwise, but it really doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, let's see here. All right. There we go. Purple and gray right there. And it's positioned on top of a hexagon it's nicely above the working area, so I'm just going to go with that. Though really, I would rather it be over here. I'm going to move it just because I like to work right above the spot where I'm trying to put pieces in. And that is, again, it's a memory issue. I don't want to have to memorize where things are on the puzzle because I get lost very easily. I use visual reference to figure out where I am and what I'm doing. So white and purple and gray. So what is that going to be? Well, it's going to be purple and gray, yeah, purple and gray. So that's what I'm looking for. You know, you get to know your puzzle after a while, and that's part of it. That sort of helps. I don't think the sticker should really be part of the challenge, the shades of subtle shades of color, but you know, maybe that's just because I'm really bad at detecting subtle shades of color. There's the piece I'm looking for. Now I have to find the working area again. There we go. So that's why I'm, you know, I don't have any problems changing the stickers or anything like that. Just because that's, to me, the game is about putting the pieces in, not about trying to tell if, you know, gray 1 and gray 2 are the same shade or not. Okay, so the edge is correctly oriented, so all I have to do is hide that. And we're above the working area here, so it is safe to turn this pentagon down 1. I'm going to go over here. I got to do 2. I have to do 2 moves and then bring it back up, and there we go. We have it joined together. Okay, and as usual, the trick is going to be to put the assembled corner and edge into that slot. So how am I going to do that? Well, if I turn this hexagon up 2 steps, then the white will be pointing that way, and then I can turn that 2 steps and it will be inserted. So that's great. All right. Yeah, coming along, eh? So yeah, As far as stickers go, you know, Oliver had the checkered stickers, or the checkered stickers for the Tuttminx, which was kind of a cool thing. The other Tuttminx, and I know he has stickers for this. I'm not sure that they're checkered, but they might have a lot bigger range of colors. Hopefully. Okay, so let's see. I have green and brown, and I see it right up there, so I'm just going to go ahead and solve that one. So now I put the green and brown corner right up there on the top here, and now I just need to find the green and brown edge. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There it is right there. Okay, and there's my working piece, so I'm pretty safe to just move this around here. Got to remember that I'm moving 2 steps because it's a hexagon edge. Okay, and there it is. And let's see. Now I don't want to. Okay, so now I have both at the top. Now, if you're really good, you can figure out which orientation it's going to land in before you put it on there. You know, I'm not that good. I have to see it and look at it to decide whether it should go. Needs to be flipped around. So, you know, chances are that you probably you could certainly be more efficient at this than I am. I'm a bit of a plotter when it comes to these puzzles. You know, it's fun. This is, to me, it's very relaxing, and it just takes up all of my my mental focus, and so, you know, it just shuts everything off in my head. Very relaxing. So if you can see here that if I could just turn this 2 steps, that would be installed correctly, right? Well, which is great. It's exactly what we want. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide this, and instead of turning this in, we're going to turn the slot up and then put it back in the slot. So I'm just going to hide it up top. Now you ask me, why did I turn it that way instead of turning it down? There's no good reason except that it's my habit to turn it up, because once we're solving the puzzle, because I go clockwise, I don't want to trash anything to the left. So I'm going to tend to move the slot up rather than down. That's all. So 2 turns, and that's the slot I'm looking for right there, ready to have the edge and corner put in. And there we are. Oh, this is great. We're just about done step 1. Phenomenal. So the last white corner is what we need. It looks white, but that's a kind of a very pale shade of gray. I don't know. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, I just, this is why I like big puzzles, just because you can just kind of lose yourself in them. And, you know, it's like playing a video game, really. You're, you know, watching a good show or reading a book. It's like anything like that. You just, you can lose yourself, and just, you know, this relentless focus for a period of time. So we have a blue and a green right there, and so I'm looking for a blue and a green. Those are strong colors that aren't very ambiguous, or that aren't ambiguous, so it should be pretty easy to find it. Yeah, there it is right there, and there's our working area, so we're fine there. Now I do have to move some, this pentagon's okay because we're above it. So you just have to be mindful of that you don't want to turn through any areas where you've already worked. But for the most part, this technique I'm showing you avoids those issues. You don't really have to worry too much about it. Okay, so I pop this up here, and the edge is indeed flipped around. Well, the nice thing about these pentagons is that if you give them a turn, they will flip the corner 1 rotation for you. So that's kind of cool. It went in, and now how are we going to do this? Well, if I turn this one up, then the white will be pointed that way, but if I turn this one down, the white's pointing in the wrong direction. So that's not the correct way to do it. The correct way is going to go to the left. So let me position this one right over this hexagon, which is, you know, experience will teach you that this is where it belongs. And the reason I put that one there, again, it's a sort of a visual aid to help me remember where I'm going here. It's a setup move that helps me figure out if I turn this right now and go, what am I doing? And then I could see this piece, and it would tell me what I'm doing. Alright, that is step 1 of the void Tuttminx solve. So, time to start step 2 of the void Tuttminx solve. We've already done step 1, the bottom pentagon and the edges and corners that go up into the 5 hexagons that go around the bottom. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do this first stripe here of the bottom, sort of the bottom of the middle row of hexagons and pentagons, which is actually the tops of these 5 hexagons around the start here. And the method I use is a kind of systematic. What I like to do first is what you'll see is that we have the sort of the bottom edge of a pentagon, then we have the flat bottom part of a hexagon, and so on as we go around. So what I like to do first is put in the bottom edges of all of the hexagons around the top here, and that helps to it helps put those in, and for the void Tuttminx it will help us to figure out what colors we're using. But I just think it makes it a little easier then to go around and fill in the bottoms of the adjacent pentagons, right? By putting those in first. Now, every once in a while you get in a situation where you end up knocking one of those out. Don't worry about that. I think it's still worth doing. Well, having said all that, let's go ahead and start putting these bottom edges of the hexagons in first. Okay, so this is our bottom, and we're going to just go around and put in basically the bottom edges of these ones, and it's the top edge of this one. Well, that's our clue, because the top edge of that one then is going to have this color on it. That's how we know what color it is. So I don't know what color this hexagon is, but I do know what color this particular hexagon, and it's a kind of a mid-blue. Well, there's a mid-blue right there. Now, the question is it the right one? Well, what helps us a little bit is that we can ignore any edges that we find on a pentagon because they can't go there. This is a hexagon edge. So for example, this gray and blue here, this looks promising because this could be the right color. But there's lots of grays and blues out there. So let me look around and see if maybe there's something else. No, that looks like it's probably the right one. So now I'm going to move this edge over to here. Now this is our working area, so we're just going to keep it below here, and we're going to work above, and our target is right over here. So let's just do it. I got 2, 1, 2, and we'll go 2, 1, 2, and one more, 1, 2. All right, well, I got it in place, but there's a problem. And the problem is that it's upside down. And I mentioned this when I was talking about the issues of the void Tuttminx, and that is that because we don't know where the start pentagon really was originally, when we started this, we may have started, it might have been on the other side of the puzzle, it might have been off to the side, and so on the void Tuttminx, the Scramble tends to produce a lot more flipped hexagon edges, and it's only those, because the pentagon ones are very easy to flip around because you can make one step, but these ones takes a little more effort to flip those around. So I'm going to show you the trick to do it, and then once you know how to flip these, you'll be fine. Okay, we're going to take advantage of the fact that if I make 5 steps around the top pentagon, then I will flip this piece an odd number of times, and because it has an even number of sides, we'll flip it over, and the blue will be pointing down. So that's what you do whenever you want to flip one, a hexagon edge over. Make sure the working area is below where you're working. So the working area is below where you have your edge. There's the pentagon you want to use on the top, and now you're just going to turn it. Remember, you're going to make all 2 steps, and you're just going to orbit this piece around this hexagon. Okay, so there's the piece, and this always works. There's no magic or fiddling to it. And then we can bring it down. Okay, and there we go. We got that piece sorted out. So that's how you do that, and we'll use that all the way through the solve up until we get to the final 5 hexagons. And then we may have to use an algorithm just because we don't have room to do that. It's very destructive, as you can imagine. Okay, well that's probably the right color. I know that we have a blue that has a gray, 2 grays on it, and it's unfortunate. But now we do, you know, we might have to move that if we find it's the wrong color. But I think it's okay. So now this one we want green, and it's sort of a dark green. That could actually be it, except that it's on a hexagon. It's on a pentagon. And so that can't be it. But it looks like it might be the right, it might go there. We just don't know. But we're not putting the hexagon, we're not putting the pentagon edges in right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm always like that. That looks like the right green, and it is a hexagon edge. So let's try that one. Okay, that's looking like a good fit. But again, we have it flipped over. And the reason we're getting so many of these flipped over is because of that. This was probably on the other side of the puzzle, and so even though we distributed the pieces, we probably didn't flip them over. The Scramble usually doesn't do that, but because we probably are working on the opposite side of the puzzle from where this originally was, then all the pieces naturally are upside down. But now we know the trick. This is the piece I want to flip. This is the top hexagon. Pentagon. I gotta stop doing that because maybe I can edit those out. Just change the word in a video. You know, that's video editing is a lot harder than it looks. I admire people that can do that. Okay, that looks like the right green, so let's just go with that. Okay, now this one we know it's brown. I think there's a couple of brown pieces on here, but I think there's only one brown hexagon. Alright. Yeah, so that's not right pentagon. So we're looking for a hexagon edge that has brown on it. That looks good right there. Let's try that one. Now I gotta be careful because I'm getting close here, but I think I'll be okay. Close to the working area. Okay. And what do you say? Ah, look at that. Perfect. And it just so happened to work out. Yeah, now if I was really good, I'd probably be able to just recognize it was going to land upside down and just work it in. But I'm not that good. Alright, so a dark purple, that should be a little easier to find. Well, that's looks like the right purple, but it's on a pentagon. So I need a purple. Purple, it's also on a hexagon. A little too dark. Okay, so this actually gets easier, as you can imagine, as you get more pieces solved, working your way up the puzzle. That looks like the right one right there. But it also gets easier as you get a little more experience working with your puzzle and solving it. So you know it can be a little frustrating the first few times you're out there trying to solve this thing, and it's hard to find pieces. It takes a long time, but I think it's pretty fast that you get used to it. Okay, so that one's in, and so I'm not getting quite as many. So it's maybe flipped over. So maybe it's possible that we're just off a little bit, and some of them were flipped, and some of them weren't. All right, but that can happen as you're scrambling. And I think it's a cool feature of the Void Tuttminx. Now, here's the tricky part, because this is a gray one, and there's so many gray shades of gray. It can be really tough. This actually looks like it might be correct, but then I'm turning this. See, no, that's the correct gray. And the thing is that gray, these are not the same gray. So this is the proper hexagon edge, but it's not this gray. And that's, you know, my frustration with the so many shades of gray on this puzzle. But, you know, maybe it's part of the game. So there's one that looks good. So when we're putting these edges in, these are tentative, and really, if you get it wrong, it's not such a big deal at this point. that, you know, it looks good, but it also, to me, it's still not the right one. So I don't know. Okay, that's still, I'm gonna look for another one because I just don't think that's the right one. That one looks closer. But then I know that there's a gray. There must be a gray over here. Okay, so we're still looking for a gray. It's a sort of a lighter gray. Yeah, okay, this one right here looks pretty good. I think that's it. So, yeah, one of the ideas I was thinking of maybe is like marking the pieces or something like that. Like putting a dot in the middle of some of the grays. Okay, I think that's going to be correct, and the reason is because it's a lighter gray than this, and that's what we're looking for. I'm just going to move that piece right out of there. Okay, so that's the piece I need, and of course it's upside down, so I'm going to flip it over. Okay, and I'm just going around the top here, just making double turns. And because I don't care about any other pieces on that piece, I can just turn it, and I don't have to worry about fixing up any edges or anything. And that's why I like to do it now. All right, so it looks like I have those bottoms all in now. Well, that's not good. I think I must have ruined this one somehow. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but I got this one flipped around. Don't know. Oh well. I'll just flip it around again. Oh, well, that's kind of odd. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I had this turned not enough turns, so it was out of phase with the rest of the puzzle there. These only turn in steps of 2. So that's correct. So I wasn't being careful, I guess, in preserving these bottoms as I was going around here, because normally this step you don't have to do this. Go back around. So I don't. Yeah, okay, well, we'll go with that. All right, so what's next for us here? Well, let's pick one. We'll start with the green. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill in. We have this edge is correct and that edge is correct. And as we go around, that'll be the case. So what I want to do is I'm going to fill in this bottom, this bottom V shape right here. And the way we do that is we put in an edge on the pentagon, either on the left or the right, and then once we put the piece in that we want, then we're going to take the adjacent corner and edge and put them in. Okay. So now I tend to prefer to put the piece in on the left and do the right corner and edge, but it really doesn't matter. And if I find one that's good, I'll do it the other way. Okay, and then I'm just going to go around and do that. Now, once I fill in the bottom edge of this pentagon, what you can see here is that there's a corner and edge that goes here and a corner and edge that goes there. And if I fill those in, that pretty much is the bottom part of this middle strip. Okay, and I'm going to do those as I go along. And that's really how my process has changed a bit. I used to do that in a separate step when I was solving Tuttminx, but I think it makes sense to do it kind of here, and it just gives you a little variety. You put in the bottom edges, you put in the little V's, and then you do these, and then you move along. So I'm going to do all of this, the bottom part of this pentagon, all in one go here. Okay. So what do I need over here? Well, I know that I need a green. Definitely need a green. And so if I can find the same shade of green, then I'll know what color pentagon that is. Well, the thing about pentagons is that they can turn one step. So this green here looks like it matches. It really does match. So chances are very good that that's the right green. And I will know for sure when I look for this corner. If I can't find this corner, then it will be it'll be time to look for another piece. Okay, so that means I need to find a brown and a kind of a burgundy edge, and then I need to find a green, burgundy, brown corner. And we're going to go clockwise, green, brown, burgundy. We've got to make sure, because there's a lot of cases where you'll have corners that have all the same colors, they're just in a different order on opposite ends, say, of the same edge. Okay, so you got to be careful. So it's green, burgundy. I'm calling it burgundy. I don't know. It's a red color. Green, burgundy, and sort of a mid brown. All right. Well, let's go find those pieces. Green, burgundy. No, that's not it. Now, if you see it, just shout out. Okay, just shout out. No, that's not it. All right. So when something like this happens and I'm having a little trouble, what's kind of useful is to take another look, because sometimes, you know, maybe I got it wrong, maybe I'm looking for the wrong piece or something like that. This is going to be green, this is going to be a kind of a burgundy, yeah, and then brown. So all right, and I'm looking for anything with brown in it, because that should really kind of narrow things down. Okay, so I've looked around and I've looked around and I've looked around, and I don't actually see it. Okay, so what that's telling me is that this I don't see this corner. So this piece can go here, but it can also go over there, right? So what that's telling me is that there's another green piece that goes there, and that's probably the piece that goes in there. So that's kind of typical of what can happen when you're working on this puzzle. Now the trick is, how do I get this piece over here? What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn this over to here, and that'll catch this piece, and now I can turn it back, and now because this is a hexagon, I can just turn it in. So chances are very good now that I've looked and looked and looked, and I didn't find that corner, that I basically, that piece belongs there. So there's another green, which is probably that. Now remember, I'm looking for a hexagon pentagon piece, and I see it right up there. So the only thing is, if I can get that turned, this piece turned to go in the right direction here, yeah, I think it's going to work. So I'm going to move it right up here, and what I want to do is get it right there with the green down. Okay, so there it is. That's in place, and now I'm going to turn this down, reserve that. And as you can see now, this creates a cohesive a pentagon. Now my goal wasn't to put that piece in, but my goal was to put one of these edges in right here. And in order to do that, I had to figure out what went there, and it could have been one of two pieces. This is the issue with the void Tuttminx, that you don't know what these colors are. If this wasn't a void Tuttminx, I would have known that this was this blue color. Now I bet you I'm going to find a green, a blue, and a brown, and that won't take me long. And there it is right there. You see, it doesn't take very long. So I hope that I've shown you that indeed, if you are looking for a corner and you can't find it, or you're looking for an edge, you know, check, especially corners, you know, just double check that you don't have some edge pieces swapped around. Okay, with that in mind then, what I need to do is find the piece that goes there, which is going to be brown, and this kind of this funky looking green, and that's the corner that goes with it. Right, now let's just double check that. So it's going to be green, sort of a blue color, and brown. Green, blue, and brown clockwise, and that's indeed what it is. Okay, so I'm going to just turn this up. I'm going to preserve this corner, and I want to turn this one down because I'm saving an edge here, or I was saving an edge. I don't know what I've done to that edge. Yeah, it seems that I've messed up that edge, just moving things around here, which does happen. Okay, so there's the edge. So I thought I was preserving the edge. And let's see, what did I do with my corner now? Oh, I inadvertently moved my corner down. Oh, not nice. There we go. Now my corner's out of the way. Okay. So we need this brown and this sort of this greenish blue which shouldn't be too hard to find. Yeah, so you can see how the stickers on this puzzle really, they add a challenge that I'm not really sure is entirely, yeah, it's a type of challenge because of all the different shades that I'm maybe not that thrilled with. Okay, so this piece now this is interesting, is this piece, the edge has to go right here. So in order to preserve this, I have to move this hexagon, which is fine, but I have to remember to do it 2 steps. Okay, and those 2 shades match. So that's the corner and edge that I was looking for. And now we have this edge here. That corner edge goes there, and I want the brown and green part to be pointing that way. So the corner part to be pointing down. So this is a trick. Again, it's a little different than doing a hexagon edge, and you'll just have to maybe get a little bit of experience to help you figure out how to do this. The experience will build up your ability to do that fairly quickly. Now, if I want the green and brown pointing that way, if I move this now, because this can only turn in steps of 2s, it will be over here. And it'll actually be on this edge. So is that correct? I don't think I can really get that to there. So what I'm going to have to do then is move, if I move this up that way, that'll work. Okay, so I can move this hexagon up 1, and this is where I want it with the brown, with the corner pointing down. And now I can move this hexagon 2, 1, 2. Put this down, which puts the piece in place, and then I want to put this hexagon back just in case there's something on there, and there's something I wanted to save on there. Okay, so there we go, we have that in place. And so this is the bottom edge of that pentagon. Now if I wanted to, I could actually go on and work on the other bottom pentagon edges, but what I'd like to do at this point is fill in the corner and edge on either side, and so then basically we kind of have this whole bottom half of the middle layer getting done as we go along. It gives a little more flexibility, because then I don't have to worry about, I can take pieces from over here and I don't have to worry about preserving their bottoms right now, right? I can move around and my working area kind of is moving off to one side. Okay, so I got this. So basically we, and I think I pretty definitively established these are correct now, and that one must be correct. So I'm looking for a green, purple, and a kind of a greenish blue to go in there. And now, things will start to get a little easier. We're also looking for a, what's this going to be? It's going to be purple, kind of a purple and a greenish blue right there from the top. So, yeah, that looks like the right edge. I normally go for the corners first, but in this case, just the distinctive edge just kind of caught my eye. There we go. So there it is. And what I need then is, so the green, the purple, and the greenish blue. Green. All right. All right, green, the purple, and the greenish blue. So there it is right there. And there's our target. I'm just going to move the target edge just out of the way so I can turn this up. Now, I have to be careful because I want that edge preserved. So actually I can do that. And now we can come up here on this top pentagon. Now, purple on top, green on the bottom. This is perfect because now I can just turn this piece aside and I can join them up. Okay, it really does. Every time you do one of these, it gets easier. Okay, now that didn't work. It didn't work because the edge that I need is on the pentagon, so I have to move the adjacent hexagon 2 steps. This gets easier as you go along because you're reducing the number of pieces every single time. Okay, and you're also building it. It starts to get a little more cohesive as you get this stuff put in. All right, so what was I doing here? Okay, I'm putting in this edge. This is the left edge, and I want it so that this light color. What? That doesn't look right. That's not the thing I was making. What did I just do? I think I just grabbed the wrong piece here. Oh no. I'm looking for something with purple on it. Yeah, purple. I'm looking for something with green on it. That doesn't have green. What did I do? There's the edge. Purple, blue. Huh. Oh, I must have, I don't know what I did. Yeah, I got lost. Okay, so here's the, what? Okay, so this is the edge I was trying to put together, and I don't know what I just did there, but it happens, I guess. What's kind of cool, if I move this aside, if I just flip this pentagon, and then just move this aside, then I'll actually join them. I don't know what I did. I got the wrong corner. I'll be looking at the tape, seeing what I did. Well, happens to the best of us. I guess I lost some focus or something. Okay, so this is where I'm going here. Is this even right? Yeah, that's right. So I gotta try and get that in place here. So let's see how I can do that. Well, if I bring this, up, oh, this is cool. Yeah, I should have known because it's a hexagon pentagon edge, not a pentagon edge. Look at that. It goes in nicely into place. I'll put that back. And then by habit, you know, maybe I would just put this adjacent pentagon back. Or hexagon, though it doesn't really matter. Okay, well, sorry about that. I just kind of sort of lost my way there for a moment. But what we have here, we did the bottom edge. We did the two adjacent edges, the bottom edge here. I got this one in, and now I got to get that one in, which is going to be brown, bluish green, and sort of a dark blue. So, and look at that. That's the one right there. So that's the edge. Okay, let's just make double sure because it's clockwise. Down, brown, bluish green, dark blue, brown, bluish green, dark blue. So that's correct. And I need a bluish green and a dark blue as my edge. Yeah, so yeah, so this is, I think that maybe my example is that all sorts of people can do puzzles, right? You don't have to have, you know, a mind like a steel trap. You don't have to be, you know, like super intelligent like Andrew Wiles or, you know, Einstein, or, you know, you can just, you know, anybody can do puzzles, right? And, you know, of course, some people are going to be able to do these things, like, you know, do it in a matter of minutes when it takes some of the rest of us hours. But, you know, anybody can do twisty puzzles, and it's fun, right? You don't have to have lightning fast reflexes. And that's, so that's why I kind of like this, this hobby. And the other thing is that people can solve the puzzle in their own way. So, you know, I get a little concerned when I read, you know, online, people saying, well, work out your own solution. You know, oh, that's, you know, what's the fun of looking at a video? Well, for some people, the fun is looking at a video and watching the video and solving it. Some people like working out the solutions themselves. And it all depends on your capabilities. It depends on how much spare time you have. And in a lot of cases on your background. You know, the other day I was using, I was doing some analysis to solve a certain puzzle that I'd never solved before. And I was using tools, you know, that I learned, you know, years ago when I was an engineer. And, you know, not everyone has those tools in their repertoire or wants to learn them. So I think it's a very open kind of hobby, and I think we can all participate in whatever way kind of, you know, we find groovy. Yeah. Okay, so it is a purple and a kind of a blue. There it is right there. Okay. Okay, so there's my blue and my blue. And I think if this is a hexagon. So if I flip that, now I'm going to have blue and blue here. So now, because I'm also on a hexagon, if I just set it up so that the dark blue is on the same side as it is over here, then I can assemble them quite easily, just like that. And because I'm above the working area, I don't have to worry about putting anything back. So I've just assembled those two pieces. Now the trick really is just to get them into position here. Well, this is actually a very nice case because I want this part here. And if I take this hexagon and turn it up 2 steps, you see that if I just flip this hexagon pentagon 1 step, then I'm all set and I can put it in. So there you go. So now what we have is we have these edges, we have the bottom, and then the corner and edge for this hexagon. And now I'm going to work my way around, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, my first step when I'm starting a new pentagon here is to make sure that my 2 edges are still there. Because I know I went and put those 2 edges in place, but sometimes they'll get knocked out. And usually they're just off by 1. Maybe they're up here, or maybe they've wandered off a little bit. But usually they're not too far away. And that's why I put them in. I put them in so that we don't have to worry about flipping them over when we already have some of it already done. Okay, that's why I put them in first. And if they do get moved a little bit during your work on the corner, the pentagon bottom edge, they're going to be very close. So remember the steps now. It's to put the one side in first, and you know, I'm looking for a brown. It's a fairly distinctive brown, and I don't know what color that is, but there's something very nice that's happened here. I don't know what color it is, but I don't care, because the only other brown pentagons are that one, and I've already used them. So now we're gonna not have this problem I had over here where I wasn't sure which one of these blues was correct. Now I know that any brown that matches this is going to be the right one on a pentagon edge. So let's go look for a pentagon edge that has a kind of a dark brown on it. And now things really pick up. That's a kind of a dark brown, isn't it? I'm just going to move it up to the top here because I don't want to stomp any work I've already done. Okay, so that looks... Okay, that looks correct. And the thing about the pentagon edges is that they don't end up upside down. They never, you never have to worry about flipping them over. Not quite sure why that is, but anyway, they don't flip over. I think it's just easier to position them than on the pentagon edges. Okay, so we know that's right. But we will get a dose of reality here when we go looking for that corner, just in case, you know, if something's not quite up to snuff, then we'll know right away. So I'm looking for brown, purple, and I don't know what color that is. It's orange. It has to be orange, doesn't it? Okay, so brown, purple, orange, clockwise. Okay, well that should be a fairly distinctive corner. Okay, I got brown, purple, orange, but notice something here. That's brown, purple, orange, counterclockwise. So let's double check here. What do we need? We need brown, orange, purple. Oh, brown, orange, purple. Okay, I think I might be onto something. Brown, orange, purple. Okay, so that's correct. Oh my, I'm having my one of those days today. But that's okay, because you know, you got to be in a certain frame of mind to solve a puzzle like this, but you also have to be in a certain frame of mind to make a puzzle video. So if I seem a little giddy or something like that, it's just because I'm having fun making a video and solving a big puzzle at the same time. Okay, so this one, and so what edge do I need there? Well, it's going to be very distinctive because it's going to be purple on this side and it's going to be orange on that side. See, what I'm doing is I'm visualizing the edge. Purple here, orange there. So orange and purple edge. Well, that should stand out. There it is. That should stand out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look, because it's on the top hexagon that I'm working on, I guess. So if I have purple on the left, and purple's on the left there, so really all I have to do is turn this hexagon 2 steps, and there you go, I got it. Alright, so my next step is to get it into place here. So I'm going to just turn this hexagon so that now it's on a pentagon edge. And how can I make this work for me? Well, if I flip this over, let's see here. If I flip this over, okay, this isn't going to work because this is the corner we're inserting, and it would end up here. But if I flip that over, then it would be pointing down. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to flip this up this way. Let's see. Okay, so now that corner is pointing that way. Yeah, and if I flip this pentagon up, there's the corner pointing that way, and if I turn it in 2 steps, I think it will. Yes, it will. It'll put it in place. I just didn't use the key there so you can actually see it sliding into place. I know the key gets in the way. So that's what I wanted to do. So now I'm going to put it down, and boom, that one's in place. Awesome. So just to review then, we started by checking the edges on the adjacent hexagons. Then we put in one of the pentagon edges, and now I have the other pentagon edge and corner. And my next step then is to put in that corner and edge and that corner and edge. And the fact is that this is going to be brown, blue, and orange. Brown, blue, and orange. So that corner belongs right there. So that's kind of a nice coincidence. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working up a little bit higher, because I'm getting a little nervous that that we're working so close to the face here, and I don't want to wreck anything we've already done. So I figured out that corner, and I need a blue, kind of a bright blue and orange edge. So that should be fairly straightforward to find. Yeah. Famous famous words before I go off and spend oh wow, there it is, blue. Okay, so now we are a little bit into the stuff we've already done, but it's not so bad. Now it looks like this edge is intact, and this, I talked about this before. Yes, that edge is intact, this corner belongs to that, but that's not something we put in. That's just a coincidence. So I don't care about it, because what I found is that it takes much more effort to try and preserve these than it's really worth. That's what I've sort of discovered after trying this for a while, working on solving Tuttminxes for a while. Okay, so there's the edge I'm looking for, and now I just got to reestablish. I think this is the top, yeah, and this is where we are right here. So let's see, I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Well, actually that's not so bad. Actually, yeah, I can leave that there, and I can try and join them. So I need the bright blue on this side. Actually, if I turn this one up, then they'll be fine. Okay, so I've turned that up, so now that and that can match up. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? Well, that's not, yeah, so this has to go over there, which means I have to hide this piece, so that's all right. I can do that. 1, 2 steps, 1, 2 steps, and now 2 steps back, and there we go. So I have that edge and corner, yeah. So that other corner that I blew away, it will take a lot less time just to find it again and put it together than trying to be alert and aware of it as I'm trying to do other parts of the puzzle. It just makes me nuts to try and do something like that. But yeah, if you got a really good memory, it might work fine. So I'm just putting the edge and corner in here, and I think by now we can see that just pretty straightforward to put in, and I don't have to turn anything back there because this is not part of the work. These hexagons aren't part of the working area. So I got that one put in, and now it'll be time to put in this one right here. And you know, I started with these particular colors because they're less ambiguous, so it kind of gives, you know, it's a little easier to see. So hopefully, if you're thinking about stickering your Tuttminx or your void Tuttminx, you'll realize that you got to be very careful about putting the same shades of color on adjacent hexagons on opposite sides of a hexagon. It really makes the solving, more challenging than really it ought to be. Well, what I'm looking at here, this is orange, purple, and green, and that's orange, green, and purple. All right, let's try this again. This is orange. That's going to be green and purple. Yeah, orange, green, and purple. So this edge and corner are perfect, but they belong right here. So because they're already together and I need them now, I'm gonna of course move them into place. If I wasn't putting those in right now, then I wouldn't care about them, and I would just go ahead and do what I needed to do. But this is quite straightforward. Let's see here. I don't think I'm really doing anything with that anyway. All right, and this will work if I just move this out of the way, and I could have moved it. I'm just moving it out of the way so that I can move this hexagon. And I think, yeah, I think this is gonna work. Let's try it. Okay, and now I'm just gonna move the pentagon back, and then move this into place. Well, that was a pretty straightforward one. And you get those, from time to time. But the odds of that actually happening, if you think about it, because I've been, moving pieces all around, are pretty low. You get a couple of those free ones every solve, I guess, if you're lucky. Okay, so let's see, what have I done here? So as you can see, we're getting not just the bottom edge, but we're also putting in the side edges of the hexagons at the same time. And I think this is where I've absorbed 2 steps into one here from my other solution. Now that looks like the right green, but that's not the right purple. It's a lighter purple. So where am I at? Well, I'm gonna do this pentagon as well here, and I'm making sure that my adjacent hexagons are correct. And indeed, I have a problem that adjacent hexagon got blown away somehow, and normally it's not too far away. This is one of the gray ones that I had all the problems with. That's not it. It actually kind of looks like that one right there, which would be quite a surprise, but that it went so far. But usually they're very close. Now I can safely do that because everything above this strip is working space. I can use it above the work area. So there we go. I put it in, so now I have my 2 adjacent edges, and you see how easy it is. Even though it got moved, it's still pretty easy to put in. So what am I doing here? I need to put an edge in here, and then an edge in a corner over here. So what I'm looking for is purple. The problem is, what is that one going to be? Well, it looks like it's red. So, oh, there's a purple and red right there. Now, is this going to work for us? Actually, I think it will, because this purple and red is a pentagon, is a hexagon pentagon edge, and that's what we need here. And we can move this 1 step. The only issue is that one is going to get knocked out, but that doesn't really matter. We'll put that in a subsequent step. So, boom, there we go. Okay, in case you're wondering how we're going to do this, what I will do is just move it off and then fill it in when the time comes. But remember, we're going to need that actually when we're making the edge and corner. So that looks correct. There is a slight chance, I guess. Well, no, not really. We know for sure that this one's gray, so clearly because these are 2 different colors, that's the right one to go there. Great. So now I need a purple, red, gray corner and a red, gray red edge, which is that one right there. So that just happened to be be there. There's my purple red gray. Not so bad. Now, in case you're wondering why we're getting so many pieces clustered together, keep in mind that we're actually going up the puzzle, and that's going to happen more and more. The pieces we need are going to be getting closer and closer together. It makes sense. Got a little bit lucky in the last couple, but it's not unusual to have pieces close. It is unusual to have them already prepared for you. Okay, so I put this up on top just so I can have a look at it. Really, I see that the red and the gray are on the sides here, and that because I'm on a pentagon, I can just turn it down, and it looks like I can just put the two pieces together pretty quickly. Right. All right. Well, let's just get that installed then. Now, this is the corner here. So if I bring this up like that, there's the corner, and that's going to work out nicely. I can put that in, and put that in. Yeah, there you go. Done. So the next step is this corner and edge and that corner and edge. And, you know, if you want to do it a different way where you're just doing the bottoms of the pentagons and then going around and filling them in, you can do that too. It will work. It just means you got to be just a bit more careful as you're working here. As you come back the second time, you'll already have quite a bit of work in. Now, what I'm looking for is a purple, green, and red. And I have a purple, green, and red right there. So that's the corner that goes there. I'm going to move this corner up to the top here because it's, you know, I just want to get it above the working area. And this is another reason why I go around and do a sort of a concentric ring, a spiraling solve, is so that as long as we're working on the top, we know we're not going to trash anything down below. So I'm looking for a green and a red edge right here. And let's see if we can find that. These should start getting, there's a green and edge. Yeah, these should start getting quite a bit easier to find here. Yeah, is that the right green? Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, green, yeah. With that in mind, I think I might have gotten the wrong corner there. Purple. Let's see here, purple. Yeah, yeah, I think I put the wrong corner up top. It was not correct. Oh, yeah. So I don't know what I was thinking there. Anyway, that's the edge that I'm looking for. Now let me try and find that right one. Yeah, because it's a wrong green. Eh? That's the one. It was close. It was close. We'll give it that. There's the right one right there. Okay. Now, where? Okay. And now I've lost. I've lost the edge that I was working on. Okay, there's the one. There it is. Okay. Now, what would happen if I just turn this? This is the corner here. This is the edge. You know what? I'm just going to go see what happens. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I meant for that to happen. I planned that. Oh, man. Okay. So, we're going to put that edge in the corner right in here. So, let's see. If I turn this up, then that's where the corner will be. Ah, and if I turn this down, that's where the corner will be. So, I think I got this. I'm going to just turn it up. So, that's where we need that corner. And just bright. This just went very, very nicely, didn't it? Maybe I just needed to take a break there. So I have that now. Let me just get reoriented here. So I have that, and now I'm just going to do this one. And so we're just going to keep trundling along here and do this. Nothing's going to change. Just going to do it the same way. You will notice that I do my puzzle solving in a very systematic way, and that's just it's my style. And it's always I try to reduce it to a series of steps that I can write down. Probably no secret, I have a little iPad. It's not on camera because it's all shiny, and but it's just off to my left here, and I can you know, I don't really need it now, but I will be referring to it for the algorithms. And I suppose if I got stuck and forgot a step, I could look it up. But this is one of the ones I know really, really well. Great. So I'm looking for gray. Now we don't really know what color this this pentagon is. Oh, you know what's happened here is that this piece, I've managed to lose this piece here. So let's find the piece again. Probably, yeah, it's got to be that one right there. Okay, now we know what color it is. It's going to be this sort of a turquoise. Can I call that turquoise? It's really hard to tell. It's a bluish green or a greenish blue. I'm really bad at my colors. You know, I just, you know, I don't know why I'm a math guy. That's why. I'm not a colors guy. I like, you know, I like colors. I like art, but I'm bad at this sort of thing. All right. Let's see. Red, gray, and no, red, turquoise, and sort of a mid-gray. They're all mid-grays. The red's going to really stand out. Not pink. Red, turquoise, and mid-gray. You know what? That could be the one. Yeah. Okay, now I have to be careful because we want that edge. But this pentagon, we haven't done anything with it yet. Well, I put that in there, but that's not official. So I can officially take that out. Or unofficially take it out. Okay, I'm just going to... That's the one I want. So I'm just going to put that back anyway. So I haven't heard anything. And there's the corner that I'm looking for. No, that's not the corner. That's a corner. Yes, red, turquoise, light gray. That's the one I'm looking for. And, alright, there it is. Now, what am I looking for? I guess it would help if I knew what I was looking for. I'm looking for red and turquoise as the edge. So I'll go look for that. Yeah. So, red and turquoise. Oh, there it is right there. It's a very dark red. And it's kind of a, maybe almost burgundy or something. Okay. Now. Well, that's kind of interesting. I put those two together. I didn't really intend to do that. The question is here, you see this piece, this would work if this was on the other side here, because the red's on the right, this is turquoise on the left. So if I could just flip this over, so I can do that quite easily. Just move the top 2 steps and flip this edge over, and then bring the corner back. And so now I've assembled that corner and edge. I hope you see that there's a difference between assembling them, the ones that go on pentagons and the ones that go on hexagons, right? It's a little different. But really it's just, I think it's just something that's probably easier to just kind of learn to do on your own than to maybe have an explicit set of instructions. Now, what I was trying to do here, I got to get this, let's see, where am I here? Maybe I'm, yeah. So this is the edge I'm looking for. So yeah, so I have to get this up here. But I got to do 2 steps at a time. So 1, 2. I think this is going to work. Okay, and now I'm just going to bring this corner and edge down. You can sort of see it. It works most of the time there. You can see it when the edges line up. So there we go. So now I've got this part done, and now it's time to move on to my next pentagon. Now I got to be careful because this is my start pentagon. So I have to remember that I'm working just above this layer of hexagons here. So this is my next pentagon. It would be kind of easy to veer off up there, and then it would be tough to recover from that. You'd probably end up undoing some work. So first thing I'm going to do is check that I have the edges in the bottom, and now I'm going to put this edge in, and then this edge in corner here. So and we'll go, and pretty soon we're going to catch back up. I can see it coming along over here. So now this is a tricky one. This is a gray and whatever color this is. So just to maybe try and make it a little easier, because this blue one, this could either be here or here. So that is kind of tricky, isn't it? So let me try and find a light gray that goes here, and it's what I'm looking for is a light gray that's on a hexagon pentagon edge. I see that's a light gray, but I think it's too light. That's a light gray. That one actually looks promising, but it's too light. I think maybe you can, it's really hard to see here, but you can sort of see the contrast. Now remember, I'm using incredibly bright lights on this, so on film it's going to look very good and very contrasty. On video, part of that is because I will process the video a bit, so it does look better. And another part of it is I think that the video is just more sensitive to these kinds of things than the human eye, at least my human eye. So what I'm saying is that to you, I might be just, you know, ignoring the most obvious difference and struggling when there shouldn't be a struggle, but in fact it really is. The shades look very, very close. And it's harder because, okay, now I can at least line them up, but you know, imagine if I had a big center there, it would be a lot easier to tell. So that looks like the same shade. I'm trying to be as careful as I can, but that looks correct. Now, if I'm not sure, then probably the prudent thing to do, well, I can be sure because I'm just going to go look for a gray, dark pink, and mid-blue corner. And if I can find one of those, then chances are pretty good that I got it right. Okay, so, and I can also see an edge here that belongs there, so that's another good sign. I'm just going to grab that right now. And so I need one of those. There, I think that's it right there. It looks like a darker shade of gray, though, than yeah, I'm thinking that's a darker shade of gray. So this is the sort of thing that we're dealing with here, where this one probably goes over here. It's very, very close. So the solutions there would be, you know, you get some Oliver stickers. You know, he probably has a greater range just because he seems to have access to a greater range. Of course, you're paying a premium for them, of colors. The other thing you could do is, you know, cut your own stickers with, you know, just get some, maybe get some silver or some metallic gold or some other shade and try it. Or, you know, maybe decorate them. I was thinking about doing that. Decorating the pieces. Let's see here. Yeah, decorating the faces like with some dots or something. I don't really know. They have to be wear resistant as well. Okay. Let's see, blue. What do we got? So it's that. It's a lighter shade of gray. So it's going to be gray. Yeah, and actually, see, it's got to be gray, pink, blue. And see, that's gray, blue, pink. So you see, that's the one over there. And that, going clockwise and checking it is the way to prevent you from trying to put the wrong corner in. You'll figure it out, but you'll only figure it out after you get everything assembled. Okay, okay. Gray, pink, blue. So there's the one right there. And so there it is. Let me just put it right. I'm not real sure. Okay, so there's the edge I want to join. And if I just bring this over, you see that's not quite right. So what could I do to this? If I tumbled it one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over here. So I've just tumbled the. Now that's not quite right, but we got it. So I got the blue on the right now. Here the blue's on the, I got the blue on the left. Here the blue's on the right, but this is a very simple kind of thing. Now I just want to make sure that I'm not too close. No, I'm well above everything. All right. And there you go. So, yeah, the way to sort of get good at that is to do lots and lots of Tuttminx solves. So that's why I think everybody should just be solving their Tuttminx as much as humanly possible, and then you'll get quite good at it. Okay, so I think, let's see here. I think so. Yeah. So this is the slot that we're looking for, and there we go. And that does indeed go in there. Okay, I think I got it. So now this is the bottom of the Pentagon piece. So now I'm going to put the corner and edge in here on both sides. And yeah, we're starting to catch up. So now this is tricky. Gray, turquoise, and pink. Okay, and it's a light gray. It's a very light gray. So it's not that. Gray, turquoise, and pink. So here we go. Okay. So okay, it looks like I'm breaking up a good pair, but it's not. It's just a different shade of green, greenish blue. So so this is the one that goes here. What? Yeah. So this is the one that goes here. Gray, turquoise, pink. Gray, turquoise, pink, and what I need then is a turquoise and pink edge. And I sort of vaguely remember getting one of those a long time ago, but it took me so long to find the corner that maybe I lost it, or maybe I never found it. Oh, there's one right there. Now that's yeah. Now this is an example where it's all nicely done. I don't know, it's just a random thing. I'm pretty sure it didn't. You know, that's not the result of the scramble, but who knows, maybe I missed the whole piece. But the point is that I don't need to save this, right? All I want is the edge right now. And you know, it's way more work to try and save one of these pieces than to just go ahead and use what you need and then come back and put in the pieces. So there we go. You know, when you're ready. Now what have I no, I was sort of off a little bit here. Now is this still going to work? Yep. Perfect. Okay, and that other piece, that actually is part of this, but we're not ready for that. So it would be inappropriate to try and you know, just hide them up here, because it's just going to run into problems trying to move them around and save them. All right. I'm pretty particular about the way I do these. Eh? So this is a dark gray, it's a dark blue, and a pink, and I think this is the one. We had this one out earlier, and it was kind of, you know, I thought it might go there, but so we're looking for blue, pink, and gray, and you see we have blue, pink, and gray, so that looks good. And then what we're going to need is a dark pink and a dark gray edge there. So, so this isn't so bad. Okay, there it is. Now, put that one just in case. I think it's okay, but it's a good habit to get into putting them back. Impossible. So, did I actually get that? Yeah, there it is. So, for whatever reason, I'm on a hexagon, and I'm kind of off to the side here. So, this would actually join this piece if this piece was flipped over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to flip this piece over. So that's the type of flipping you do on the hexagon pentagon edges, as opposed to having to go all the way around a pentagon if you're trying to flip a hexagon edge. Now, let's see, if I move this up here, and then I turn this, I think that's correct, just like that. Ah, look at that. Nice, eh? So now I have this whole pentagon done. I have the bottom edge and the two sides, which of course is also the sides of the adjacent hexagon. So, keeping in mind that this is my start pentagon, we're going to keep going along here. And so my next pentagon to work on is this one right here. I'm going to check that the adjacent hexagon edges are in place, and they are still in place, so I'm going to be getting a little better at keeping things straight here. this edge is already in place, and that looks correct. You'll notice we have two different shades of, is that maroon? I don't even, burgundy? I don't know, man. So we know that this is going to be sort of this burgundy color, so we're looking for that, and then a blue right here. So I see it right there. So, and that is indeed a hexagon pentagon edge, so that one belongs there. So what I'm going to do is just hide this edge. Actually, before I do that, let me point something out. I was sort of plowing full speed ahead here. If I look at this, normally I want to start here, but this one's already in place. So you know what? I don't need to change anything. I'm just going to find the corner that goes with that, and then that's the right edge for there. So I can actually leave it. It's a little too close to my working space, so I'm going to stick it up top there. But just before we go here, I want to look at this one. I think that's not the right corner. I'm looking for a blue, burgundy green. Yeah, so that doesn't have blue on it. So I'm going to put this edge up top here just for safekeeping. There we go. And whoops. Okay, I'm going to have to put it. I'm going to put it off to the side here. So now I have to find this corner. So blue, burgundy, green, and blue, burgundy, green. Okay, I think that's correct. And oh, so close. So you see what's happened here? I need to turn this corner that way. So let's see, but I don't know. Yeah, I think I can. Okay, so I'm just using this hexagon edge, pentagon edge. Yeah, that's. Oh, still not. Still. So there's a. I could keep trying to tumble this corner, but this is good enough because it has the two colors that are the edge already pointing down. So all I'm going to do then is just turn this one, flip this one upside down. There we go. And so, and now I can join them together. All right, so now we're going to put, this is a little unusual because I'm putting it in from the opposite side. I'm deviating just a little bit, but it's not a bad deviation. This piece was already here, and so now I'm just going to put it in this way. So what can I do? Well, let me try this. I'm going to flip this up, so that means I have to have the corner here. I can go one there, 1, 2, and look at that. All right. Okay, and I can just leave that. So now I have the bottom edges of this pentagon. And I'm just going to do that one, and then we will see. Yep. Okay. And I think that might be it. Yeah, that is probably the last two. So, we have blue, gray, and burgundy. And I'll be looking for a gray and burgundy edge. Looks like a gray and burgundy edge right there. Okay, I'm just bringing it a little closer to the spot so I can see. Yeah, that looks about right. Oops. Okay, so I'll try that one. It's definitely a hexagon, a pentagon hexagon edge, so that's good. So blue. So I need to see blue, gray, and burgundy. Is that the right burgundy? Yeah, I guess so. All right, so a blue. And we're because the bottom is really getting built up, the number of spots are kind of going down quite a bit to where things can go. Blue, gray, and burgundy. I think that's correct right there. Okay, actually, yeah, I can't do any more there. Let's see now. Yeah, that does look right. So I'm going to hide this corner. Okay, putting the edge over. I'm going at this in a kind of a awkward way here, just because that's the way it's kind of presented itself to me. Oh, that one's nice. Nicely all ready to go, but don't know if we can use it. Okay, so I've got to go in here, and this is the corner and edge. Okay, and you'll know you have it right when you, the two steps you need to make, and you're lined up. Oops, right there. So that one, and I think this is the last one right here. So burgundy, green, burgundy, and dark burgundy. I'm going to call that purple. Burgundy, purple, I don't know. So dark green, burgundy, purple. And burgundy purple is our edge, so that should just leap out here. No. Burgundy purple, here we go. Okay. And we just need to add green to that mix. There it is right there. Lovely. Okay, can I... Yeah, I think we can assemble on here. And all I did, I just saw that everything was lined up, so I just fell into place. And this is typical, you know, as you're doing these, they kind of present themselves quite nicely. There we are. All right, I believe that is the part 2, step 1. We've done step 1, which was the bottom pentagon, and then all of the edges around. And now step 2 was to fill in all of the bottoms of these hexagons, and then the bottoms and sides of the pentagons as well. So that was a big step, but as you see, we really have a big chunk of the puzzle done, and it actually goes much faster from here on in. So we'll just take a little pause here at the end of step 2 part 1, and then we'll come back for step 2 part 2. So this is step 2 part 2 of the Void Tuttminx solve. In step 2 part 1, we got the bottom layers of the middle hexagons and pentagons, and now we're going to work on these top layers. And the idea then is to get everything filled in except for these last 6 hexagons and the last pentagon. So now the landscape has changed a little bit if we look at what's left to go, and that we're looking at everything is flat as we move our way around here. Unlike in this last layer where we had the hexagons were flat, but the pentagons had points. Now the pentagons are flat, and as a matter of fact, everything is flat. So that's what we're going to do here. Is pretty much it follows a similar pattern. We're going to put in the bottom edges of all of these pieces, and then go around and fill in the side edges and corners. Okay, I like to do the bottoms first. I think it makes it you know, a little more interesting. I think it makes things go a little smoother. It also makes it easier from the standpoint of the void, solving it, the Void Tuttminx. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to put these bottoms in, and that's a fairly easy step, I think you'll see. Now remember, we don't have any corners in here yet. So for example, I see this orange. There's only one orange edge left, so almost certainly that's going to be the edge that goes there. So now I have that bottom in. Okay. And so now I'm going to go here, and I want to put this bottom in. Now, even though there's other pieces that aren't there, actually there's only one piece left that fits that, because remember, this is a pentagon hexagon edge. So all we're looking for is a bright green edge that fits there. These other two edges are also bright green, but they are they're hexagon edges. So that's all I'm looking for, is just that bright green, sort of a forest green, I guess you'd call it. That's the color, but we're looking for it. There it is right there. So this is a pentagon hexagon edge, and we know it goes there. Okay, and we're not going to have any trouble positioning it, because these edges just don't don't end up upside down. It's pretty straightforward. There we go. Okay, so we got that one in, and now again this is our very dark red. There's only one of them left on the puzzle that looks like that. Okay, well, I think that's it. I'm not real sure though. I have to bring it over. It could go there. Yeah, it looks like the right shade. Okay. Yeah, we'll be able to tell if we run into a problem getting the corner set up. All right. So there's that one. So there. Now let's see. So we want to go there, and that one looks like this color right here, sort of a greenish blue. Now, some of these might end up, maybe getting knocked out as we do the next step, but that's okay. I think it's better to have them in there, and then you have to look for them, but not very far after the fact. I think getting these all in here is a good, is a good strategy. Now, if you wanted to, you could always just, maybe just do them as you go. That's the alternative. It would still work. Okay, so that one, and now this pink here. This is dark pink, so none of these light pinks, and it's also a Pentagon hexagon, and it's going to be the last one left. So it's probably that one right there. And whoops, I was wondering what was going on there. Now, and remember, we're not trying to save any of these unless we've already put the pieces in. But because I'm going clockwise, hopefully I'm not knocking any out. That would be really tragic if I was going around plowing through the ones that I've already done. So that one, this one, which is going to be a sort of a dark gray, and we don't know what color that is, but it's the last one left. That's a dark gray like that, a hexagon, pentagon, edge. Yeah, it's not wouldn't be a terrible thing to sort of skip that one and work backwards, but let's try and find it. There's that dark edge. Yeah, I think that's correct. Now I gotta watch it because I have that one. Oh no, yep. So I'm just gonna save this, and I'm gonna put this back. There we go. Okay, so we got that one there, and right. Okay, I don't know. There was nothing there. That one. Okay, so this is a burgundy, so almost certainly that one. That was that was nice. And then this is your kind of purple. Purple. Okay. Dark purple. Of course, there's always, there it is right there. I was going to say there's always a chance I put it in somewhere else, and that is always, that can happen, so, make sure you consider that possibility. Alright. Man, I don't even know what color that is. It's not baby blue, it's a kind of a dark greenish blue. So we'll call it that, dark greenish blue. Maybe that's my problem with these puzzles. I just don't know my colors very well. And I must have been away from school on that day when we learned about colors. Yeah. Dark greenish blue. Okay. Yeah. how about right there? That's probably it. Now we want to preserve that one, so I got to be careful here, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna bring it down, 1, 2, and then bring that. So we preserve that one and put that one in. It's good. All right, dark. This is a dark blue. This is a unique blue on here. So should pop out like. No, that's not it. Yeah, it's. Make sure I haven't used it for something. That looks like it right there. Okay, now we've already done that one, so I don't know. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Okay, here we are. So that one, that one's done. That one's done. Perfect. Okay, so I have all the bottom edges in place, and now the next step is going to be to go around and start filling in the sides and kind of doing it in a systematic way. So let's see. Now remember, I was putting in the bottom edges, but some of these, like this one, already has this edge in here. Problem is that's in the way. Actually, we need to. Actually, that's not the right one anyway. So yeah. So as we've gone along, I've been putting the bottom edges in here. Now, if any side edges just happen to show up, then you know, they weren't intentionally put in there, and we'll have to take them out. So, you know, there's no real, you know, place to start. I'm just going to start on a color that's kind of distinct and shouldn't give me too much trouble. So, so I will start right here. So we have this one and that one. And now, if you'll see what I need to do here, I need to put in, if I don't want to build this whole edge, because that's too much. And then, remember, I can't put a edge in above a corner. I have to put them in as a unit. So if I put this edging corner in and then that edging corner in, then I've got that part done, right? And that's as much as I want to do. So this one, right? I can put this one in, maybe that one in, right? And then I can go back around and put that one in and that one in. Okay, it's entirely, you know, it's really up to however you want to do it. I'm just going to do this one, that one, and that one all at the same time and go around. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm looking for this kind of this greenish blue, baby blue, and dark blue corner. Greenish blue, baby blue, light dark blue corner, and I don't think I'm hurting anything there. So I'm good. As long as I work on this pentagon, I think that I will be okay right up here. So there's the corner, and now the edge here is going to be very light blue and very dark blue. So we'll try and just find that. That could be it right there. So I'm just going to turn this and see if they match up. Indeed, they match up. That's perfect. Okay, so the next trick is to get this piece up into this slot so that this piece can go into it. So there we go. We're going to do that. Now, as it turns out, that didn't work because the corner is going to be facing the wrong direction. So let's take a look here. So I'm going to have to turn this. That can only turn 2. So this is going to be, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of thinking here. Okay, so I got that. I don't know what I just did, but that's not a good match. Huh. Okay. That's the right corner. That's not the right piece. All right. Well, you know, these things happen. So. Okay, that's the one I'm looking for. Now I got to be careful because I got all sorts of pieces that I'm trying to preserve there. Okay, everything's back. Piece I'm looking for is up here. And I think if I turn this, whoop, no, didn't quite work. Maybe that'll work. Okay, yeah, that's a better match. I don't know why I just goofed on that one. But there we go, done now. And here we are going over here. So I'll just flip everything around. Now let's see if I can get this to go in. I think so. If I turn this up, 1, 2. No, because I need it to back in. And you know what? I think I messed that up anyway. Yeah, okay, well that's better. I guess it would have helped if I had things on the right. So I misturned the top hexagon. Well, anyway, after all of that, I got that one in, and I don't seem to have done much damage. So now I'm going to go with the purple. So this is going to be a purple, light blue, green. And it's a very dark purple, so hopefully that'll make it a little easier to find the piece. And then I'm looking for a purple and light green, a light blue piece. All right. There's the purple and light blue piece, so that's not gone very far. And so purple, light blue, and green then for the corner. Purple, light blue, and green. Okay, there it is. Okay. And indeed, because I'm on a pentagon here, I can turn it 1, and that's all nicely done up for me. And I think this is going to be pretty straightforward to put into place. There you go. And I'm just going to pop that up there just to put it back. I think it's okay. But so taking a look at what I've done then, I basically filled in the bottom part of this hexagon, and then filled in the 2 corners and edges. And now what I can do over here is I can fill in this part here. But I can't fill in this part until I fill in these corners and edges of this hexagon. So, you know, it's one of those things. I guess I could probably just go around and fill in the bottoms of the hexagons and then go finish off the edges of the pentagons. That might make more sense than trying to do it all in one. So, it's yeah, I don't think there's a clear advantage to one way or the other. But I think just in the interest of not confusing things, that's what I'm going to do, is just fill in the corners of the hexagon, you know, actually the hexagon edges, and then I'll come back around and do the pentagons, the bottoms of the pentagons. That's probably what my notes said that I wrote a long time ago, and I couldn't figure out. So, all right, so it looks like we have blue. So this is what I'm going to need. So I'm going to need a blue, dark blue, baby blue, orange corner, and blue, baby blue edge. Okay, now, okay, baby blue, that's close. Well, that orange should really stand out quite readily, huh? I'm not sure that I'm really seeing it. No. Huh. Alright, baby boy, I don't know what, well, it's blue, orange. You know, there's an orange there, right? And that's an orange. My question is, are those 2 shades of the same orange or not? They do look a little different, don't they? And here's the thing, I have another orange over here. And I have another orange over here. So this looks like a thicker sticker. Thicker sticker. This is very thin. You can see that this has some bubbles under it. So what if there's an orange? There's an orange that has a clear sticker. Wouldn't that be something, eh? If that was the one right there. Okay, I don't think I've taken anything out there. Maybe I have. Yeah, Okay, so disadvantage of not learning your color scheme is you can make mistakes like that, but the advantage is you can reason it out. Say, hey, the corner's not there. Okay, so what have I done? There's the proper piece, and so now I have to recalculate what that should be. And it looks like I blew away that. Actually, did I? Maybe. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So there it is. So now what we're looking for is blue, gray, orange. And hopefully there it is, blue, gray, orange. And what we need is a blue and a gray edge. And there is blue and a gray edge. So this is the game, really, is to I'm going to let me see here. I'm gonna flip this. To be able to with the void Tuttminx figure out what the colors are, and I kind of like that game. So that's going there, and let me see here. So there's the slot. Okay, it's in, and then the other side of this is going to be orange, gray, and mint green. Orange, gray, and mint green. I just like saying mint green. No, forest green. Didn't I call it forest green? Okay, so orange, gray, and forest green. And then gray and forest green as my... There's my edge. So I have to be careful there because there's pieces all around that I want to keep. Okay, I got my pieces preserved here. Oop, okay, there it is. And I just need that same colors with an orange in it. Okay. There it is right there. Alright, so there's the corner, and there's the piece I'm trying to get. Alright, now I want to preserve all of this stuff. Okay, so I gotta... Alright, so there's my corner, and there's where's the piece I'm trying to... Oh no, I put the piece that I need down there. I don't know. Well, I don't really know why I did that. That was just that was an accident. Actually, I don't really care about any of this, so that's okay. Now, this is on the wrong... If this was flipped, then it would be fine. So I'm going to join those up right there. There we go. Got it. Now, got to put this piece in here. Well, that's upside down. No, that doesn't work. Okay, just want to make sure I got everything correct here. Orange, gray, green, in that order. Orange, gray, green. Okay, I have it correct. Okay, this does happen every once in a while. You have to go off on the wrong side here and do it. There we go. I don't know why. There. Okay, so as you can see, it's really coming along here, and we're filling in these bottom edges here. So that one was supposed to have something in it, and I think I've sort of turned it away. There we go. But you see how it's relatively easy to fix things up again. Okay. So our next one, we're going to, I decided that I'm going to go with the hexagons, just do the hexagons rather than try and do all the corners all at once. So the next hexagon is going to be this. So we're looking for mint green, purple, and burgundy. And mint green, purple, and burgundy. I hope that's the correct. Yeah, that looks right. And so then, I need a mint green and purple would be my edge. And it's a sort of a light purple, not a really dark purple. There it is right there. So I have to be careful about which pieces I'm using here. I'm just gonna move that out of the way. Okay, so I put everything back that was knocked out. So there's my my edge, and my corner should be right there, and it looks like everything's set up with the green on the right, so that if I just turn it, my corner and edge are assembled. So let's see, it's going there, right? And if I turn this, it actually is going to be in the wrong orientation. So it has to go in with a turn of this face right here. So I got a bit of work to do to get this over here. There we go. And now I have to get this. Okay, I still have some work to do. There we go. And now I think this should work here. And I'm just going to turn this back because I think, yeah, because I think I knocked a couple pieces out. So that can work, and it shouldn't cause any problems as far as filling things in. So what I've done then is I filled in this part, and I filled in that part, and what did I do here? Yeah, and sorry, and then I filled in this part and this part here. Sorry, that was earlier. I've been going around here. I think I may have knocked these pieces out though. And yeah, there they are up here. So this happens when you do that type of move. The pieces always end up on top here, and it's never any big deal to put them back. I guess this is probably a good place to mention that when you have to go off to the left, because we're coming from the left. So if you do have to do a turn to the left, you're going to knock out one of these corners and edges. But they always remain intact, and it's always easy to put them back. So this is why I have a habit of checking back there, and so I can catch that. Alright, so we have that, and put those in. We're working on this, and now I got to put this edge in here. So I'm looking for kind of a mid-red, light purple, and what color is that? Turquoise. So, and I need a red and a turquoise as my, a purple and a turquoise as my edge. Actually, you know what? That's not correct. It's not correct because I don't actually know what color that is. It's turquoise on one side. Oh yeah, I know it is. It's purple and turquoise. Yeah, okay. Alright, fine. Talk myself into it. I think that's the one right there. And Okay. Actually, that's the wrong edge, but it is our edge we're looking for. Okay, so that's what's going to go in there. But that's the edge. This is the this edge is the one that goes up here. We're looking for the other edge of it. So red, purple, and turquoise. That should be just leaping out at me, but it's not for whatever reason. Red, purple, and turquoise. Okay, so this is what's happened. Is just sort of blended in with some other edges here. Okay, so there we go. And now I just have to find that other one that I was looking for, that I had found. My purple, there it is right there. And yeah, everything's lined up. The purple's on the right, purple's on the right, so I just have to twist it into place. So pretty straightforward. Now if I move this is a slot, and if I move that slot up here, I can move it down and it will go into place. There we go. I know this is hard to see sometimes with the key in a way, so sorry, I'm trying to kind of keep it out of the way as much as possible. So there's that the bottom of that pentagon, and just for free we got this corner here, but it does not help us one bit, because I'm going to have to take that corner out to put that edge in. There's no way around it. So we have that. We're just going to skip over to this this one here. I'm just putting in the corners of the pentagons right now. And so what this one's going to be is a pink, turquoise, and baby blue. And we're looking for a turquoise and baby blue. Turquoise and baby blue right there. Alright, so I just have to find the edge. And it's a hot kind of pink. There it is right there. Okay, and this edge is not affecting anything. So there I got it. And okay, so this edge has to go over here, which means if I can hide this, then I'll be fine. But if I hide it, then I'll be wrecking that. So basically I'm working too close to my working area, so you know that happens, and you know, I'm just gonna have to move everything up top here a little bit. Okay, otherwise it's going to interfere with my the work down here. So there's my blue and turquoise, and what did I do with my piece here? Oh, I think I accidentally brought it back down. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, I'm not sure I'm really saving anything down here, but anyway, let's just see. Blue and turquoise, blue and turquoise. So now I have to flip this around. Okay, there, that's flipped around. And now I can join those up. So I'm just going to hide this one. Bring that in and bring that back. Okay. And my pink. Okay. And so this is where I'm landing, right over here. So I think that if I put this up like that, join those up. That's kind of cool. Bring those down. And so what's happened is I'm upside down. So that didn't work. So I'm going to have to go up on this one, and again, This is one of those cases where I might end up munching some stuff. But remember, this part we didn't put in place, so it's probably not too bad. Though I am trying to go there. Okay, I'm just gonna double check here. So it's turquoise. Actually, okay, you know what I've probably done? Turquoise, baby blue, and pink. Turquoise, baby blue, and pink. Oh yeah, okay, so that does go there. Alright, well. If I go up like that, this is going to be upside down. Huh. So I have to move this whole thing over there. Yikes. Alright, well, I've done that before. Okay, so there it is. And then move this up. Move that in. Okay, so this is a bit of a... because somehow this whole edge is just there we go. And let's see what I knocked out of place over here. Actually, it wasn't bad at all. I don't think I knocked anything out. That one's good. That one's good. That one's in place. Yeah, I guess we're good. All right, so I need pink, blue, and dark gray. Let's funny, I get some easy ones, and then I hit a rough patch like that. And I need a blue and dark gray. I figure that one would be pretty easy to find. There's blue and dark gray. There it is. And need the pink. Pink, blue, and dark gray. Okay. So there we are. Now, how to join these up? The bottom. Okay, so one of these is upside down. There we go. So now it's correct. And in fact, if I hide that out of the way right here, then I can just move this piece into place. Done. Okay. And I think this one will work out quite nicely if I have this position right here. And there we go. So less of a struggle this time to get that one in. Poof. All right, so that's that hexagon. And now time to do this hexagon. I was trying to keep these pentagons more or less in good shape here on either side, so it might be worth taking a moment to see if we can get intact. Now in that case, my my piece is long vanished. I don't know. Okay, so I just put the piece back, and then we have that one. But really, what we're doing now is the bottom, the hexagons. So I just have to put in the edges here, the left and right corners and edges of this hexagon. So we can start over here. I have a gray, green, bluish green, and burgundy. Yeah, and I need a gray and bluish green piece. So I was looking for the wrong edge. Sorry about that. I'm looking for gray and green right there, not green and burgundy. So that would explain why I couldn't get them to join together. And you know, and that's the beauty of puzzling, man. You just it really challenges you. All right, well, let me just get this squared away here. So what I'm looking for then is I was looking for this a non-existent whatever. Anyway, what I'm looking for is a gray and a green edge, gray and green, and then and I believe that that's it right there. It's just sitting right there. So yeah. And if I do that, okay, so this one will go right over there. If I just hide that, yeah. So that's the way this puzzle balances, I guess. You just gotta keep. She's keeping me on my toes here. Okay. And there we go. So that's that. Maybe I'm just not qualified to solve these puzzles. I don't know. So we got the red, the green. No, what is that? That burgundy, green, and burgundy. Burgundy, green, and purple. Or dark burgundy. I don't know. There it is. Burgundy. No. Burgundy, green, and purple. Well, that's... It looks good, but it's not the right order. Burgundy, green, and purple. Yeah, it looks like the right one, but it's not. Okay. And then we need a green and a purple, which I think we already have it there. Yeah, burgundy, green, and purple. There we go. Well, maybe that was the right one. Okay, so one of these has to flip, so I'm just going to move this out of the way. This one I can safely flip it. Move it back. So, yeah. Okay. So as you can see, this would probably go a little faster if I had much better color recognition and wasn't quite so. I don't know what the word is. But yeah, anyway, we got it, and you know what, I have fun doing it, and you know, that's the important thing. So there we go, we got that one done finally. Oh, look at that, yay, we got all those edges in here. So having said all that, if you remember, we kind of left the hexagon, we kind of left the pentagon edges and corners, and so now it's time to go back and sort of check up on them, make sure they're still good. So that one's still there. This one's been knocked out of place a little bit. Not a big deal. And we don't worry about that one because now we've already done this row. That'll be our next step. That one's good. Okay, so it looks like it was just the one there. So. Well, let's start right here then. So what I'm looking for then is a light gray, is a green, light gray, and dark pink. So that's a mint green or forest green. Shouldn't be too many of those left. So we have here forest green, light gray, and then a sort of a dark green. Okay, that's the corner. At least I got the corner. And okay, it's gonna have to be that one right there. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's see. So there's my my gray and pink right there that I'm looking for, and there's the corner that I have to put it with, and they're both oriented correctly, so it's just a matter of hiding this away. Actually, let me take a look at this. This is actually something's wrong here, because I can't get this from here to here, so I cannot join. This is a I got the wrong edge, because it's a hexagon edge, and what we need over here is a hexagon pentagon edge. So it looked good. That's probably the one right there that now that I see it, but it shows you, right? You just sort of have to always be kind of on the alert here. Okay, so this is probably it. Okay, don't want to break anything. I think I already did, but well, maybe not. So there's the one, and now I think it should be quite straightforward. I want to put that gray on that side. Should be quite straightforward to join them up. There we go. Okay, and because this is a pentagon here, let's see, can I do it this way? Actually, we're over here, so let's see here. If I bring this up, this may actually work. How would it go? Yep, there we are. So I was able to put that one in, and now the next one is this one over here. So forest green, pink, and purple. Forest green, pink, and purple. So it's sitting right there. No surprise that we're going to start running into those. And now we need a pink and purple. So because we're getting very close, I'm just going to move this right to the top, and this is as far top as you can go, because this is actually the end pentagon. So you can see how close we're getting here. So there's the corner I'm looking for, and the colors I'm looking for is this purple and pink, or purple and purple. Sorry, purple and purple, and there it is right there, wedged between a couple of pieces we want to keep, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, so I save those two pieces, and now my purple and pink is there, and that's the one I want, and it's oriented correctly. So it's just a matter of moving this to over here. Now I want to save sec. All right, let's pick that up. 3, 2, 1. So I have my let's try that again. 3, 2, 1. So I want my purple and purple, and I have that now. We're kind of working pretty much on the top pentagon now, purple and purple, and there is my purple and purple right there, and green corner. So I just have to move this over here. It's not a big deal. I have to hide this away. There's really nothing up here that I'm trying to save, so I can go ahead and do that. Actually, except that I can't. That's the wrong one to do it on. It's that one. Yeah, there we go. So we join those ones up, and yeah, we're getting right down to the end here. So with these, oops. Okay. So now this I can't. Yeah, the only way I could do this is to turn this one, and then hopefully that'll be correct. Otherwise, I'll have to find another way to do it. Ah, there we go. That's good. Yep, and there we are. So that's the pentagon. Remember, we're basically working on these pentagons here, and this layer here just above is the last layer that we have to do. So that's why we're sort of running out of room. It seems like we're running out of room. We are running out of room. We're running out of puzzle to do. So that's a good thing. This will be the next one, I think. Yeah, this is the one. So we're going to put those two in. And so this is going to be a purple, green, and blue. Oh, look at that. That corner is already there. But we're going to have to take it out to join them together. But it's a purple and baby blue. And I can see it right up there. So it's not going to give us too much trouble, I don't think. Now, that's isolated the corner. I'm just going to put this back. Sometimes you can get away with it and just leave it there, but because I'm talking, I might lose my place. And, you know, sometimes I will just leave it and put it together, but not when I'm talking and trying to solve. So this edging corner, so this edge goes with this corner. And let's see now, how is this going to work? It has to be flipped over. Okay, well, we're definitely running out of room here. Okay, that's better. So now I just have to move this into place. So I'll just hide this one. Move it over, except that I can't. I tried to hide it on the wrong side here. Now, no, there's nothing there. It looks bad, but there's nothing there. And there we are. Now, let's see where I was here. Looks like right there. And that's not the way to go. Okay, so far so good. Whoops, I overturned that one. Okay, so we got that one in. I'm going to put that one in. And that's going to be kind of a guess we're gonna, so this is going to be greenish blue, baby blue, mid blue. And so we're going to go a baby blue and mid blue as our edge. Not a lot of pieces left. This whole edge looks like the one I'm looking for. And indeed, I think we have an intact edge here. What are the odds of that happening, eh? Actually pretty high at this point, just because of the small number of available pieces. We get a few of those every solve. And there we go. So that one went in very, very nicely. So we've been going around now putting in these pentagon edges. And we're getting down to the last few here. Now this gets tricky because I have this gray here, gray and gray, but it's a dark gray, so it's hopefully it's not too bad. And this is the orange. This is the other color orange that we had. There's two oranges, and okay, that looks quite different now, I guess. And the other orange is a darker orange. So I need a dark gray, baby blue, and orange. Close, but not quite. Dark gray, baby blue, and orange. So there you go. And that looks like the edge right there, which is orange and blue. Okay. Okay. So there's the edge. And okay, so we just have to get right to the top here. Yeah, definitely running out of space. Okay. There we are. So that's 1, 2. Okay. So this one, so if I actually hid that away, if I had just turned it this way instead, yeah, there we go. So got to get this piece in here. Now this can turn up here, that can turn there. Okay, I think I got it. So that goes into place, that goes back, and then I'm just going to turn this back, though I don't think we've affected anything, because we're actually working below this line. These top 5 hexagons, and this top is we can turn any of those faces because they're not going to hurt anything. So we have a situation here where the edge is actually correct, but we need the corner. So we'll just go ahead and find that corner, which is a gray, orange, and green. And gray, orange, and green. So I'll take that, I'll put that on top, and remember this hexagon, because we're on the last few faces, we can turn it, we don't have to worry about it. Now I want to turn this, but I have to be careful because I have a whole bunch of construction already done there. So I'm just going to turn this back. You know, as I said before, if I wasn't talking through this, I might just solve it and then put it back. But but I don't want to risk losing my place to being overly distracted. Now we got the green on the bottom. So this isn't too bad. So if I just hide that piece out of the way, I think I should be able to do this. You'll notice I've reversed the normal course of things. I'm assembling on hexagons. I'm assembling on pentagons rather than hexagons. I don't really like doing that. It's not as comfortable for me, but it still works. So there's the edge I'm trying to put in, and here it is over here. And there's not really much of this to do, so it's not that bad. You got a couple of these to deal with, and then you're done. Step 3 is coming up, and it just you get into some interesting solving. Now how are we? We got that one done. We got this one. So basically the way to figure this out is this is your top. This is your top, your destination, the hexagon, your final. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1. So just the way to figure this out, it's starting to get built up now. But this is your start pentagon. This is your end pentagon, and so these last 5 hexagons, you're not working towards them. So basically, we're just going to fill in everything just below these last hexagons. And as we go around now, it should start to be clear that we're just filling in just below these last hexagons. Okay. So, and it looks like this one will be pretty straightforward. So I have burgundy, dark turquoise, and red. Burgundy, dark, turquoise, and red. So there's my corner, and it looks like turquoise and red as the edge, and there it is right there. So don't forget to undo the setup moves here, because we got so much sitting down there. Now everything should be in the right orientation. This is fine. I'm gonna hide this by turning this face. Bring this over, and there you go. So that one's together now. And let's see here, right in there. step that back, but we just, yeah, that's right, we don't have to step that one back. Alright, so this one is going to be purple, red, and light blue, and in fact that is the edge right there. So we got that. I just have to find the corner. So purple, red, and looks like light blue. Purple, red, and light blue. Yeah, there we are. Okay. And not really a coincidence that everything's just working out like this. By the time you get to this part of the puzzle, all the pieces are just kind of hanging around together. Okay, so that one's done. So that one, and oh, looks like we're on the last one. So we have sort of a mid blue, a baby blue, and a pink. Let's see, mid blue, baby blue, pink. So that's the corner that goes there. So that's nice. And then the edge is going to be a sort of a baby blue and pink, right up there. Look at that, all ready for us. And no surprise that we were able to get one to just join up. Now, can't turn this one, so I can turn that one. So let's see if I can get that to join up. Indeed. There we are. And last one's going to be mid blue, pink, and gray. Not too many places for pieces. There is mid blue, pink, and gray. And that's... And it's pink and gray is the actual color. That must be it right there. Okay, so that has to go there. So that's the piece. And let's bring that up. Alright, let's see how we did here. So all of the pieces around the last pentagon should not be done, and everything below it should be filled in. Okay, so there we go. Now, yeah, okay, so right there, right there, right there. Okay, let's see. Yep, so that's it then. So that was step 2, part 2. All right, so let's just take a break, and then we'll get on to do step 3, and then a very short step 4. We're back after a nice little break. Step 2 is a long step there. And then now we're almost done. The last 5 hexagons of the puzzle. That's step 3, and then step 4 is a very short step to get the last pentagon. So our trick here is to get all of these hexagons put together and their corners put in, but we have a problem. And the problem is we're out of room. We don't have any place left to build corners and edges. I suppose we could build them on one side, but eventually we will run out of room, and so we might as well just go ahead and adopt a different strategy to put these last 5 pentagons correct. Now, as far as putting the hexagon pentagon edges, these are very easy to put in because we just turn it 2 steps and we have access to the top, and so we can just cycle pieces in to these spots very easily. But the bottom edges, the hexagon edges, and the side edges is a little trickier. So what I suggest you do is start by putting in all of the bottom hexagon edges. And one of the things that does for us is it helps orient the edges, because if there's any that need to be flipped, remember we have to use the trick where we cycle them around the top of the puzzle, and you sure don't want to do that after you put a whole bunch of edges and a whole bunch of work into stuff, because it just creates chaos. The other thing I'm going to recommend is, because of the similarity of some of the colors, that you start with a good strong color that's not ambiguous. I have a couple of grays here, and it always drives me bonkers here trying to get the grays put in, because there's different color grays. So try to start with a good solid color that you know is unique, if at all possible. So with that, I'm going to take this mid blue, and I'm looking for hexagon edges that are mid blue, and I can turn all of these freely now until I start putting those edges in. So there's my mid blue that I want, and that's going to help me figure out what the color of that hexagon is. And now I'm going to put it in. So that's great. Now I didn't have to flip that edge around, so that's fine. If I did have to flip it around, if it was upside down, I would just do what I've done before. I'd move it up here, move it there, move it there, move it there, move it there, and then right there. But I didn't have to flip it, so that makes me feel pretty good here. So now this one is a kind of this funky looking green, and again I'm looking for hexagon edges. So there's one right there. I think that's the right one. Now I got to be careful I don't use up this edge, but I think it'll be okay as long as I put things back. Okay, so I got to be careful about that edge. There we go. Put it back, and now I have the piece in place, and I think that you can probably see that it's upside down, so no problem at all. That's why we're doing this step right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip that over. Now remember, we already put that piece in place, and that's why we're going around this way. So we'll just have to remember that. Now I put that piece in place, and now I'm going to fix up this edge. And if there were other edges, I would do the same thing. Okay. So now we have this kind of this baby blue here, and that one's a little harder to see, but at least I'm cutting things down. Actually, yeah, that's not it. I think that's it right there. Yep, that looks like it. And now this gray. Now it could be this one, because you know, it does look good, that gray and that gray. But take a look over here. Remember, we're looking for hexagon edges, right? Well, what about that one? That one's also a hexagon edge, and it's a blue and gray. And indeed, I have an ambiguous case, because what I have are two gray edges separated by a baby blue hexagon. Two gray hexagons separated by a baby blue one. And you know, I'm going to have to change that stickering. But I want you to see that, and you know, it could cause me problems if I get it wrong. So I don't really know here what it's going to be. Probably one of the easier ways to do it at this point would be to, I actually know this color here, this pink, that's that hexagon there. So I'm just going to break my little rule here for a second and put this edge in, just so I can get a better sense of what the color looks like. So now I get to see that inside this hexagon is a blue. By the way, I knew it wasn't there because this one's correct, and that's a gray. So it's not this one. This one has to go there. There's a pink and gray that goes there. So this is the blue that I'm looking for, and the question is that the same blue? Well, that doesn't really help me much, because I believe that this other gray shares... this other gray is actually going to go over here. Let's see if I can show you this. So you see that this is one gray, this is the other gray, and this is the blue. So these two pieces are very, very ambiguous. So looking at the colors doesn't really help me all that much. So, all right, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this correct. I'm going to call that one correct. I'm going to flip this one over, and if I got it wrong, I will find out in the next step. Okay. Oops. Yeah. Just not really sure what I did there. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so what I want to do now is, well, okay. I'm going to put this back. So I'm just going to go back now and put these all back. Okay, so how did I do? Alright, so that's the one I was trying to put in, and oh, sorry, that's the one I was trying to put in, and I think I'm alright here. That's the blue one, and then there was a blue and gray one that got away from me. It probably should be over here. Anyway, so my goal was to put the bottoms in, and I got all the bottoms in. You see I'm having a lot of problems because of the grays. So the next step will be to put the edges in this, the sides, and if I do have a problem with the two edges swapped around, what'll happen is I won't be able to put all the edges in. I'll end up with a case where I have to swap 3 edges around, and I can't do that. I can only swap, like I can flip 2 edges at a time at this point. I can cycle 3 edges on a face, but I can only flip, if they're upside down, 2 of them. So, okay, there goes a float plane. Okay, and they don't take off over me, they take off kind of along beside me. Been on those quite a few times in the winter time anyway. They don't float, they're on big, very large balloon-like tires. Okay, I think our float plane's gone away. So if there is a problem with the ambiguous edges, then what'll end up happening is I'll have 3 edges that there's no way to cycle them into place, or I'll have 1 flipped edge, you know, something where I can't fix it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So what am I going to do here? What I want to do now is I want to put in these edges, these 2 edges. So these are the hexagon edges. Remember, I'm not worried about the hexagon pentagon edges. They're trivial. They're very easy to do. So I want this brown piece in here, and now looking at this, sorry, that's the wrong edge. Okay, let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so my float plane's gone away. I can get my audio back now. So my next step is to put my the rest of the hexagon edges. Remember, not hexagon pentagon, because those are easy, but hexagon. So for example, I have a brown edge here, which is this hexagon, and the other side is pink. So this is the pink, so that brown edge goes there. And if I do things right, I may actually have the brown on the inside. Yeah, I do. Okay, and I have to remember to put everything back, because I do have the bottom edges put in. So now I have this brown edge in there, and that's great. It's correctly oriented. So now I can go ahead and put this other brown edge in, and I know it's got to be this one, the last hexagon edge. And so let me just do this here, and hopefully it'll be okay too, but maybe not. Okay, and put everything back. Alright, so what's happened? Well, this one's upside down. So that's no problem. What I can do, there's a couple of ways to fix that. One of them is I can run it all the way around, and that does work. Okay. but I do have to be just a little bit careful. If I turn it this way, okay, I actually want, I'm going to want to put the piece in that spot when it gets back around here. So it's a little bit tricky to do it manually like that, but that's, I mean, that's the fun way to do it, but it takes quite a bit of finesse to do it that way. Instead, what I might do is take a look here and see what we got. This one and this one. Okay, so that one has to be flipped around. Yeah, I think I am going to have to flip this one around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way. And now I'm just going to run it around the top here. Okay. And now what I have to do, because this is the bottom here, I'm going to turn this over to catch this piece. So that's where I want it. Okay, I'm going to put that back. Okay, all of those are correct. That one's correct. And now I just have to turn everything back, and hopefully I haven't broken any edges here. And I did, actually. And that's what happens. Basically, you end up with one of your bottom edges knocked out. And but you know, it's fairly easy to put in, but still, it's just one of those things, right? So I have to. That's the slot for that bottom edge. That's the slot for it. So there, I'm going to bring that over. That's there. That's back. That's back. and I got that edge upside down. Lovely. Okay. So that can also happen. Okay. What I'm going to do is just not worry about that until I find the other edge that I want here. The other edge that I want here is going to have this kind of pink and this color right here. So I think that that's the edge that I want there. And as a matter of fact, let me just do something here. I think I might. Okay, so let's take a look. What do we got? We got this edge with the pink should be on the inside, so that's upside down. And I got this edge, the green should be on, or the pink should be on the inside. So those two edges are upside down. So I just showed you what happens when you try and manually do it. And yes, it is possible to flip two manually. But what I'm going to do is show you how to flip two edges on either side of a hexagon with an algorithm, and it doesn't hurt any of the other edges. Okay, I just worked this out a long time ago, and I don't know how efficient it is, but it works perfectly, and it'll save you a lot of grief. Now, the thing is that it works on this edge and this edge. It just flips them upside down. It wrecks all the corners, so you can't do it later on in the solve, but it just flips those two, and it doesn't hurt any other edges, any other hexagon edges. But in order to do this algorithm, I want to put these two. I'm just going to do a setup move. Oh, okay. I don't know my own strength. I was over eager. I'm over eager there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip these two. So what's going to happen then is when this is all said and done, this one will be pointing in and that one will be pointing in. Okay. So there we go. So you start with them both on the right and the left. Now, in order for this to make sense, I have to show you the. I have to kind of show you some nomenclature, and I'm going to show it, but I'm also going to put some graphics on the screen to show how it works. So this is your F, of course. This is your U. This is R. This is L. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is F. This is U. This is your right. R for right. L for left. Now this is the back right. And that'll be the back left. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So we got the front, the right, the back right, the left, the back left, and the U. I don't know if we do the U at all. Okay, and I'm going to. I got my iPad right here. I mean, yeah. So I don't have this memorized, but it's very, very handy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip that, and that's all it does. It just flips them around. So. Now, so when I do R2, remember the hexagons always have to do two moves. So R2 is 1, 2. BR2, this is the front, 1, 2, BL2, 1, 2. Now, F2 prime, so that's back, 1, 2, so counterclockwise. L2, 1, 2, okay, so towards you. F2, 1, 2. L2 prime, 1, 2. F2, 1, 2. Now, BL2 prime, 1, 2. BR2 prime, 1, 2. And R2 prime. One, 2. Oh, F2 prime. Sorry, I missed a step. I would have done F2 prime. Sorry about that. F2 prime, which is what we were looking for, and then I would have had to undo the setup move. Sorry about that. And with that, you can solve the rest of the edges on the hexagon edges on here very, very easily. But you know, you don't want to have to use such a long algorithm each and every time. If you can do a few of them by yourself, that would be great. Just by, you know, sort of using your kind of strategies. So we have this one now is done. We have this one. Remember, we're only putting in 3 edges here, and then they just sort of tend to fall into place. These ones are done. That one's done, and yeah, okay. So by doing that, we get all the hexagon edges into place. I guarantee you that's the hardest part of this whole solve, right then and there. And of course, I will put all these algorithms in the notes. Okay, and yeah. So the next step is really very straightforward, and this is where it starts to get really fun. So the next step is to put in the hexagon pentagon edges, and remember that we can move this edge up to the top, which is a two step of the face, and then we can move that edge to any of the other pentagon edges, which means that we can swap these around just at will, no problem at all. So let's take a look here. I have a pink and a blue edge here. Well, where does that go? Well, there's pink, and this is the blue, because now we know what colors these are. So this edge belongs there. So how am I going to get that edge there? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it out of the way, so it's off to the side. Now I'm going to move this. This is the slot. I'm going to move it up to the top. 1, 2, and I'm going to move this in like that. And then I'm going to move this down. 1, 2. Now, we put in that edge, but notice we didn't touch these other 3 edges that are already done. Didn't hurt them in any way, shape, or form, because that's just the way this thing works. So this is what you're going to do then. You're going to take, there's the edge that belongs there. It's already out of the way, so you move it up 2, move the edge into position, and then move it down. Boom, you're done. Okay, and you're just going to keep going. Whatever's up top here, just whichever one you find that belongs, like this one looks like it belongs over here, you can swap it in. Now, every once in a while, you might get into a situation where, and by the way, you'll keep doing this until these are all yellow, but you might get into a situation where you've got a bunch of yellow ones up top. They're all yellow, but there's some that are still out of order on the edges, the hexagon pentagon edges. So of course what you would do is just put one of the yellow ones in any one of the ones that's out to get that one up top, and then put that one in its right spot, and then just keep going, right? Okay, so that might happen here, but we don't know. So there's an orange one. That looks like orange and brown, so that's the correct one. So I'm just going to move it out of the way. It doesn't matter which way we move it. Okay, so there we go. That one's done. And so now we have an orange and pink. So if we were over here at the orange, there's the orange and pink. So there it is. Yeah, and this one goes pretty fast. You can see I'm using my fingers to line things up. That's what I do when I'm trying to do these algorithms fairly quickly. So I got my green and my blue. There's my green, so yeah, that must be it right there. Okay. Yep. So now, yeah, my green and my pink. I hope I got that right. Yeah, just looking back on that last step where I did the hexagon edges, if I had had a couple of edges swapped, then I wouldn't have been able to get it to work out. I would have done my flip, and then there would have been more edges out that I couldn't have done, and then I would have to just swap a couple of edges and fix it up that way. All right, pink, and so I think that's the one right there. Yeah, there is no real parity on this. That's a parity, but it's just a parity caused by pieces actually being wrong. But there's no other parity on the void Tuttminx. You would think because it's void, it might have void parity. It doesn't. And any parities you get is always because you have a hexagon edge flipped. Always. So, and that happens on the regular Tuttminx too. It's easier to avoid because they have centers, and yeah, well, because they have centers. Alright, let's see, how do we do? So that's right, that's right, that's right. Ah, there we go. So, okay, so, and that's brown and blue. Okay. Okay, that one's right. I think, okay, it's all yellow on top, so I'm just going to go around and check to make sure that we have they're all in the correct places. If any, sometimes they are swapped around, and then you would just go ahead and swap to a yellow one with a bad one, incorrect one. So the next step for part 3 is a cool little algorithm, which I just kind of, I've memorized it, so, but I will show you what the algorithm, actually I'll put it on screen graphics and put it in the notes. But I've just memorized it because it's a pretty easy algorithm to memorize. Basically what our algorithm does for us, at first it doesn't seem very useful. What it does is it takes it 3 cycles corners from one pentagon to another pentagon. Okay, so what it does is it actually moves this piece from here to here, that piece from here to here, and then that piece from here to here. And that's what the algorithm does. It doesn't touch any other corners, and that's all it does. And at first it seems kind of, well, you know, what are we going to do with that algorithm? But the power of the algorithm is that it's very easy because these pentagons can be moved in, they can be moved in any direction in any number of steps, is that we can put the destination for one of the pieces in the right slot, and we can put the proper piece up top here, and we can do the algorithm, and then that one will go there, that one will go there, and that one will go there. And by doing that, we can actually put all these corners in. And the algorithm itself is actually not particularly difficult. So if I call this F, we called this F before, okay, and we called that U. So you already know F and U, all right, on this puzzle. And the only other thing you need to know is that this face below F, I'm going to call it MF for mid phase or middle F. Okay, so that's F, and we're going to call this MF. It doesn't really matter what we call it, but that's what I decided to call it. So just to kind of recap then, what I've done is this piece belongs here, right? So it's the pink, gray, baby blue, right? So pink, is it now pink? Pink. I don't know if that's actually the right piece that goes there. Pink, gray, baby blue. So that's the piece. That piece belongs there. So yeah. So I did the setup move to put that slot right there. Okay. So we're gonna do the algorithm. So with the algorithm, and I'm just gonna bring my notes over here because I know it by heart, and I don't wanna confuse anybody and say it wrong. So it starts out. You're gonna do F2 prime, so 1, 2, okay, and you're going to do MF2 prime, 1, 2. Then you're going to do F2, 1, 2. Going to do U. Then you're going to do F2 prime, 1, 2. You're going to do MF2, 1, 2. You're going to do F2, 1, 2, and you're going to do U prime, which just reorients the top, and that's an optional step for the way we use the algorithm. Well, there's the piece that belongs here, and we put it in there, and now the next step is to remember, don't forget this, undo your setup move, because it's easy to get caught up in the fun of doing that algorithm and you forget to undo your setup move, and I think you'd eventually notice it, but still. And that's how we're going to finish these corners, and it may seem like it could take a while, but eventually we'll get to a point where we can 3-cycle some things. Now, I always like to use this as your U, and then just go around and do the MF. Every once in a while, you might find where it's more convenient to tip it on its side, and maybe you can get a 3-cycle that puts some pieces into place. I would consider that an advanced technique, and I only do it every once in a while, certainly not all the time. Well, here's a nice piece here. It looks pretty good. Now, don't worry about knocking this corner out. We're going to be knocking corners out like crazy, so, you know, it's just part of the game. So, this is a red, pink, and gray. So, let's see. We have a red. Okay, so we have a... this is a red, pink, and gray. I'm asking myself, why is that piece wrong? Haha. That piece... These two pieces are swapped. I just noticed that. Okay, so these two Pentagon pieces are swapped. That's it's no problem to fix them. Okay. Good thing I noticed it just before I did too much work on the corners. Okay, there we go. Gee, I was wondering. Okay, so now I'm glad I got that sorted out. So now it's so we need red, pink, and gray. Red, pink, and gray. So that piece goes right there. So I'm going to turn the target down below here, and so this one's going to go there. That one's going to go there, which is what we want, and then that one's going to go up there. Okay. Now, if I was really fancy, I could do some other setup moves, but this is the easiest way to do it. Okay, so here we go. So it's F2 prime, MF2 prime, F2, U, F2 prime, MF2, F2, and then your optional U prime. Undo the setup move, and voila. Alright, so this is another one. I just like to find ones that that are pretty obvious and easy. It's going to be, looks like that one right there. So there we go, and that looks like the one. So we're going to put it down in the corner here. So remember, you've got your F, your U, and your MF right there, all in a stack, and your target then is right on the right hand side of your MF, and the one that cycles down is the one on the right corner of your U. So there to there, there to there, and there to there. There's probably you can probably do a reverse version of this, but I've never had a reason to use it. Doing 3 cycles instead of doing one reverse has always worked for me if I needed it. It just it's really never been an issue. I suppose I could do it backwards. I normally define you know, mirror images of my algorithms, but for this one I never really needed it. There we go. Okay, and yeah. So now it's the one with brown, green, brown, and blue, so that must be that one right there. Okay. that one. Kind of nice to have everything all happening at once in one spot here. Often you'll get them, they'll be all over the last 6 pentagons, hexagons, last 6 hexagons, and then it's you know, you gotta keep turning the puzzle. So sort of got a little bit lucky here. And let's see, so that's a brown and pink, and oh, that's got yellow on it, so that's not going to be it. So that one has red on it, and that, okay, this piece looks like it belongs right there, so I'll take that. Looks like we got one more here. I'll go right there. So what I'm doing with my fingers here is just helping to align everything up, because I'm turning relatively fast, and it just helps me to kind of stop and start in the I'm just squeezing the edges of the mechanism together to line them up. So I'm squeezing both sides of it. Alright, now we had some, this looks like the one here. Okay, that one's going to go in there. Alright, come along here. That's the one right there. That one. Okay, now it looks like that one's good. So purple, green, violet. Because sometimes you can, if you end up with all yellow up here, you can still have corners that are wrong. And again, you just have to change the yellow, put a yellow corner temporarily in one that's wrong, and get out the piece that's wrong and put it in its right place, and then the cycle will start again. And the pink now is going to be baby blue, gray, and pink. Baby blue, gray, and pink. Okay, so that looks like the one right there. Okay, I see an orange one there, and it has brown on it, so, and purple. So it's going to be right there. Okay, so we have all yellow here, so that's not going to work. So there's that one and that one that need to be swapped. So no problem at all there. We'll just swap that one into there. And you know, I could do some setup moves, but I really, at this point in the solve, it's a big puzzle. I just don't want to take any chances, you know. Not worth it, really. You know, when it's so simple to do. Now I could just leave that if I wanted. Actually, uh-oh, I think I forgot to do a setup move here. Oh my. Okay, well, there we go. All right, let's try that again. I think I was over eager. Okay, so the setup move should have been like that. Okay, so that's the piece that we got out of there, which goes over here. So this one now has to go here. So, okay, so now we have this one done. Okay, and now the piece that we need to put over here belongs over here. But now let's take a look and see how we can get this sorted out here. So that one has to go there. Okay, that'll work. Okay, and we're not going to worry about the corners of this one. We're just going to worry about the corners down here. So we're just going to cycle that one in here. Okay, and we'll undo our setup move. Whoops, there you go. Okay, so if we take a look here, we'll see that the entire puzzle is solved except for the last pentagon. So when we come back, we will finish the void Tuttminx. We're back, and time to finish the void Tuttminx. There's one more step, step 4. It's a very short step. We just have to do the final pentagon. Now, the way I do this is just using some Megaminx algorithms to do the edges, and I just adapted those algorithms. And you know, I have my iPad here, and you know, I don't have these memorized. And all I did was I sat down and I worked out what the equivalent face turns would be to for the different patterns that you would find on a Megaminx last Pentagon. So what we're looking for here is one of the patterns where either we have 2 correct here, or you know, maybe 2 correct here, or 2 adjacent that are correct, and then we can 3 cycle the rest of them. Now I will warn you, if you get to this step and you can't do that, then it means that a couple of your edges are swapped, because that's one of the symptoms. You can get all the way to here and find that you have an edge swap. So a likely candidate would be something like this, where you have a hexagon and a gray, and so this edge and that edge could be swapped if you have a problem. And then I have the other one here. This is this blue here, where I have a gray, so those 2 edges, one of those could be swapped. So I'm just warning you, that's what it looks like. It's not some weird void parity that you're finding. It's just swapped edges due to the similar colors. But otherwise, that's the only reason you would have any problems on here. It has there is no such thing as void parity on the void Tuttminx, which is good. So let's take a look here and see what I got. Well, what I see here is I have 2 adjacent, which are correct. And now, as long as I have a 3 cycle, and indeed I do, I have a counterclockwise 3 cycle, I'm all set. So I'm just going to pick the algorithm from my chart, which is good for the adjacent case, and where we're going to do a counterclockwise 3 cycle. So this is U, as we talked before. That's going to be F, though I don't think we're using it. Actually, we're only using U's and R's. So this is U, and this is R. Okay, so the adjacents are here, and this is it. Now the algorithm, and it's going to be counterclockwise. So we're going to go R2, 1, 2, U. Oops, just got to adjust that. So that's U. R2 prime, so 1, 2. And U, be careful, that's in the same direction, U. R2, 1, 2. And U2 prime, 1, 2. Whoop. Okay, so that was 2 steps backwards on U. And then R2 prime, 1, 2. Okay, so you see now that our edges are correct, and you're going to say, well, wait, we knocked one out. Yes, that's one of the side effects. The 2 adjacent algorithms, the side effect is it knocks out a corner on the front right. And the other 2 algorithms don't do that. But it doesn't matter because we actually need that to fix our corners, which is the next step. The point was to get the edges of the final pentagon correct, and they are correct. So that's great. Now I can put away my iPad. I don't need it anymore. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to 3-cycle these using that same algorithm we did before. So the fact that this is broken is fine. If that hadn't been broken, I wouldn't move this face. But since it's broken, I'm just gonna turn that down here, and then we will eventually get that piece will probably be put in and correct at the very end, I think. Anyway, so let's take a look at what we got here. This corner is correct, and what I need to do now is kind of cycle things around to get all of these other corners correct. Now this corner belongs there, and let's see, the only real practical way to get that there, I think, well, let's 3-cycle it. This corner, this is the brown, green, and yeah, the brown and green corner, so it's right there. So what would be kind of cool, see, here's the problem. If I cycle this up here, the problem is that it doesn't work because it's going to knock that out. So I really would rather not do it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle it this way. This one to there, that one to there. And this will work out. Alright, I'll show you. Okay, so what's going to happen is this is going to go there, that's going to go there, that is going to go there. And then we do it one more time, and 2 cool things will happen is this one will end up in its right place, and that one will end up in its right place. And then we'll only have 3 of these out, which is exactly what we want. Okay, we'll only have 3 corners wrong instead of 4. So now that I've set this up, let's just do our algorithm again. So it's F2 prime, MF2 prime, F2, U, F2 prime, MF2, F2, U prime. Okay, so we did it once. We'll do it one more time, and it's going to sort. I think it's actually going to sort a couple of these out for us, so this should be really good. Okay. Okay, so it fixed up that broken edge, and it also put that one in place. Now there's an example where I suppose I could have gone and done it backwards, but it just, because you don't use this algorithm very often, you know, I just rather use it forwards and have to do it an extra time. That very rare case. So where am I at? Well, I have this corner's correct and that corner's correct, so really only have 3 corners that are wrong. So if I could find a way to recycle those 3 corners, then they would all be correct. Well, I can 3-cycle them, and I just 3-cycle them just using a sort of a donor corner over here. say that one. Okay. And now the strategy is just to figure out what's the best way to do this. This has to go there, and this one I believe goes, that one goes over there. So there's really, it's kind of going to be ugly no matter what. But I think I can sort this out. I think I can find a way. Let's see here. That one has to go there. Okay. I think I might have this. All right, I think I'm going to try it this way. That one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. That one will go there. All right, well, let's try it. Might have to take a couple cracks at this. This is the fun part, because this is the last thing we have to do. Okay, so what have I done now? So that one, this is the gray and the blue. So if I do this again, that'll go there. That piece will go there, and that'll be correct. Aha! I think we're on to something. Okay, so one more cycle, and I think we'll just do one more, and then we'll be in a position to finish this off. Let's try it. Okay, well, maybe that didn't quite work out the way I was hoping, but oh well, c'est la vie. What did I do? Okay, so what I really wanted to do was, I think I wanted to move this first. Live and learn. So I'm gonna have to cycle it so that this one's gonna go here. That'll be correct. This one will go over there, which isn't right. That one will go there, but we'll be able to sort it out. All right, here we go. Okay, so that one's right, and now we do indeed have the perfect situation. What I was trying to set up before, which is I have 3 that are wrong, and all I have to do now is figure out whether I need 1 3 cycle or 2, and it looks like I just need 1 3 cycle, because this will solve that one, that will solve that one, and that will solve that one, and I don't even have to undo a setup move. So let's try it. And that is the void Tuttminx. So we're done the void Tuttminx solve. All 4 steps. Everything's all nicely put into place. We didn't have to learn our color scheme or anything. And well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learned something from it. If you don't have a void Tuttminx, I would encourage you to get one. You can get them from the Very Puzzle or from the HK Now store. And if you do have one of these, why not scramble it up and give it a try. It really is a lot of fun to solve. Now, you know, I enjoy making these videos, and I really appreciate your feedback, your comments, your questions, your suggestions. So I encourage you to leave those on this video. And yeah, well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching.